I was gonna hit it with a hey Keisha, but opted out. Oh my lord. Hello everybody. Hey Wendy, Salada, emotional support muffin, Gucci Gang Gamer Girl. Glad you all could be here. So say hello to our guests,
Hey,
Alex and
everybody.
Kay. This only took three days to come together. Totally fine. On a Sunday evening. Oh my gosh, I see Outspoken in the chat. Hello, nice to see you. Nick is P. All right, Legal is here. Lisa Manning, glad you can be here. Thank God. I think I
No.
texted Gab at one point when I was at the courthouse on Friday, and I was like, "Babe," she's like, "What?" I was like, "I need support." She's like, "What do you want me to do?" Hold my hand. Oh my God, Lord have mercy. Hello, everybody. I can't go down the list. I'll feel ridiculous. Okay, listen. As you all know, Clara is over there live with none other than the Mandy ATX, and we will get to them, I assure you. But I had some notes that I took during the EPO hearing on Friday that I wanted to go over with you all, and also just a couple of timestamps from the Rumble live stream that they did, that Ron and Clara did. They waited a little while, didn't they? About an hour or so after. I don't know. Anyway, and then we'll get to Mandy and Sean and Alex. I understand you have some. Alex has been dropping the receipts on Mandy ever since yesterday. I think it's great. So we're gonna get to a little bit of that. I hope so. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun.
Yes, and thank you for having us on. I was looking forward to this.
Heck yeah, me too. I thought we could do it yesterday, but I wasn't thinking I was getting ahead of myself. So I'm glad we could come together today. Alex drops bangers all the time. She sure does. Nick is P. You got that right.
I mean,
I got
she's
some
kind of
more.
mad after what ATX did yesterday. Or was it yesterday or the day before? She's like, oh, now I can put a face to the person I've been DMing for this whole time.
Yeah, like, bitch, you don't even know. And I've like sent her pictures of myself. So that's what I'm confused about. And, but it's Mandy's favorite thing to go and like pull people's and like try to say that they're fat and ugly because, Mandy was fat or is fat still. Even after her weight loss surgery, she still has to have Sean's family members hold her up physically because she cannot stand on her own because that is how large and in charge she is. So
I think that was the best one I heard. The best banger of the day yesterday was when you were like, "You need 3 people to hold you up. Who are you calling fat?" Yeah, and I know there's some pictures of her out there from before the initial weight loss surgery. I have them somewhere. They're probably in an old ass like Google Drive. If I scroll enough, I probably come across them. The nerve of her. And then also, I think it was not too long ago on my channel, I watched one of Mandy and Sean's old vlogs that they were doing when they were shacked up in the middle of COVID in that apartment in Austin that her parents had to rent for them. And they went to the Walmart and Sean did her real dirty and she was so high, she didn't even care. She kept all that in there. You said who was her mom? God dang around. Yeah, I said it was her mom. I don't know. Anyway. Hey, Fifi _48. So glad to see you continuing to come back. I forget what it was you got in trouble for the other day, but it was something pretty severe. And now every time I see your name, I'll just associate it with you being a troublemaker. So she said it's in trouble. Okay. So anyway, listen. So as you all know, Friday was court for the EPO that Clara Hondra filed on Tragic. After all of the hoopla, the first hearing coming and going, or I should say, the first hearing came and did not go because Clara failed to have Tragic served. So then she went and hired an out-of-state process server, out-of-state private investigator and process server to have him served. The evidence that we received to back up her claim that he was served was the picture of paperwork shoved in a door that Tragic maintains to this day is not his residence and not where he's residing, and he has never been served. Anyway, second hearing. Oh, I digress. After the first hearing came and did not go, and then Clara had to go hire a private process server, Clara held a live stream where she revealed her and Kiwi farmer friends and her grift gang friends and all of her friends over there. They all worked together. And she was very appreciative of all the hard work and cooperation and collaboration that these groups of people came together. And she was especially appreciative of the fact that all of her new friends kept it all very hush hush and on the down low, and nobody knew, right? So then, for some reason, before she managed to get Tragic served, she comes on the internet and tells everybody. Then she's got to spend the money to get him served. Her process server serves the door. The second hearing, for whatever reason, now Claire's trying to keep it very hush hush again. And she says, I'm not going to tell anyone the date. Well, I called the courthouse. They said August 2nd at 2:00. I said, I'll be there. I guess people did.
I heard you. I remembered. I just didn't think about it again. I was just like, maybe she'll go. I don't know.
Listen, I didn't think about it again neither. And honestly, I would have missed it had somebody not reminded me. Nicketh P in the chat. Everybody, really, truly, a round of applause in the chat for Nicketh P, because had it not been for Nicketh P reminding me that the hearing was Friday, I very well may have missed it, with everything else going on and whatever. Yeah, so thank you, Nikki P, for that. Yeah, I got up Friday morning. I was like, I have a duty because, Tragic wasn't served, so he's not going to be there. So we won't get, the respondent side. So if we want the truth of what went down in this hearing today, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to bite the bullet. I'm going to take one for the team, for the greater good, for the entire community, for my entire audience, right?
Hell yeah.
I said, I'll do it. I do love driving my car, and like I said, I think I was telling you guys that, the drive there, yes, it's a little over 2 hours, but it's a beautiful drive. You can literally take the back roads all the way from here to there. I'm talking like narrow farm backcountry roads. Some of them twist and turn, and there's ravines, and it looks like the Berenstain Bears and the spooky old tree. And then, it's a beautiful drive, right? So yeah, the fuck, why not? Sure. So I did. I went, and it was glorious. Is there anybody in the chat who's not heard the story yet? Because I would love to tell it again. I would.
It's a great story.
Yeah, I know, it's really good.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, Hagar Hoy. I appreciate you appreciating my service. I really do.
I can't believe they're making such a fuss about it, though. As if
I don't understand.
People wouldn't show up in person. I think all of them would. They'd drive further.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Hey, Nikki Nichols 95. Why not? First of all, here's my question before we get into any of this is, I want to know why Ronaldo is taking such personal offense to me coming to Connersville to witness this hearing. It had nothing to do with him. It had nothing to do with Ronaldo to the extent in which he was not even there. He didn't even go to listen and observe and see how it went.
Because
for Clarahondra.
He ran out of the courtroom. When she ran out of the courtroom, she calls Ronaldo and was like, "Oh my God, Sam is here. Sam is here. She's stalking me. You're not. What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, he knew where I was. But yeah. So, but my point is though, he's taking personal offense, and he's like, he's on Rumble, and he's very delusional and deranged and unhinged, and he's talking to me as if I came to Connersville on any business that had anything to do with him, and I didn't. The first time or the second time, if you recall, the first time I was in Connersville back in February, and I came to Connersville, Indiana, and he took great personal offense to it and took it as a threat and was saying all the same, "Oh, you come to my city, I'll kill you" bullshit. That time had nothing to do with him. I was there on perfectly legal, legitimate business to have Clara served for a court case involving me and her. He wasn't even named in that case. Right. So the first time I was there, perfectly legal. In fact, legal's in the chat. And she says, I told Sam I would give her the smuggest smile and ignored her. That's basically what I did. Only I didn't smile at her. I shushed her. Right.
This just really made her mad.
Yeah, that really set her off. So yeah, the first time I went to Connersville had not one fucking fuck all fuckity fuck thing to do with a Ronald Corbin. Shut up. The second time I come to Connersville had nothing to do with you, Ron. So what is it you're upset about? And I don't want to hear this my family bullshit, because if you were the father, provider, protector that you say you are, you would have rescheduled whatever very super important appointment it was that was scheduled for Friday, August the 2nd at 2:00 p.m. Give me a fucking break. You mean to tell me there was something more important and more dire than protecting your family, as you want everyone to believe is the case? Give me a fucking break. No. Yava says, tell it again, babe, from the top. Why not? And we're waiting on Tragic. I think he's supposed to be here. He had a food stamp renewal appointment. I don't care. Especially like, okay, what there was some appointment that was so super serious that was at the same time as Clara's EPO hearing against Tragic, that just like myself, Ronaldo, you had every legal right to be at and observe. You also had every right to be there to support your so-called girlfriend, right? Your family, be there to support her.
It was not just maybe it was like a slew, remember? And he was like trying to drag his kid into it too, being like,
of course.
This kid has appointments. I have appointments.
Yeah, of course. A slew of appointments for the whole family, of course. And he could have come and she could have called him as a witness. That judge absolutely would have heard from any witness that she called. He let her have the floor. He let her say whatever she wanted to say. And there were no attorneys there to object or nothing like that. You know what I mean? That was very much, she had the opportunity to have not only a one-on-one conversation with that judge, but also allow Ronald to have a one-on-one conversation with the judge. And yet still, Ron didn't bother coming. I find that really interesting. I want to just say real quick, thank you so much for the super sticker. Rachel Hay, appreciate you. Nikki Peen, thank you for being a member for 21 months. Yes, I posted clips of the DC versus Hussey first TRO. I didn't know it was illegal. I took them down. 4wick/April Love/US Citizen reposted them on the farms. Let me go ahead and grab that comment real quick. Put that on the board to clear those things up. And Clara Hondra knows that I'm not the one who recorded that, Nikki P. She even said in the Rumble stream after the hearing that she knew I was not the one who recorded that. So why did she tell the judge under oath during her one-on-one conversation with the judge and under oath? Why did she tell the judge that I have a history of doing such things? And she knows I didn't. She knows that. Anyway, hey, there's Tragic. Hello. Oh, I forgot to send you that. Shit.
Yeah, I need that. Because they've already exposed me with living with you guys. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, he was gonna have a background of her office.
Hold on, let me you guys. You know what? You guys talk to the chat or whatever. Share your thoughts and opinions while I look for it.
Okay.
what's up,
Damn
chat?
it! You
Nice
should
to
have
see y'all.
reminded me, man. I'd be forgetting.
No worries.
I was.
What's
gonna
up,
say
everybody
that,
in the chat?
Clara told the judge that because Clara is a liar. That's
Hmm.
why she told the judge that.
Okay.
You
can I
lied
just-
about a lot of things one-on-one to that judge 2 days ago or yesterday, whenever it was.
Let me just tell you, Tragic.
Mhm.
Negs is over there in ATX's chat right now, and he said Tragic likes to be hammered from behind by BBC. This is what he's putting in the chat. Yeah.
I mean, that's all projection because we
Yeah.
all know how he likes to get down. What's up, Christina?
Ugh.
What's up, Miss
Ask him about
Anthrop?
Clara's big black dong that she uses on him.
Yeah, she got a strap on, and she goes to town on him, and D pays to watch.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly. Yeah. That's where
Pound
that
Town.
money
She
goes.
takes Ron to Pound Town.
Oh God. Okay.
Trigger the shit out of him.
Uh,
Hold on. I just real quick, since we're still towards the beginning of my stream, 15 minutes approximately. I just want to make it very clear. Another thing that Clara told the judge repeatedly and under oath yesterday is that I am an associate of Tragic's and that Tragic sent me and that I was there on Tragic's behalf with the express and obvious intent to stalk her, harass her, and intimidate her on your behalf. Tragic, I think this is only the second time you and I have ever been on a panel together. The first time, if you recall, I took the link on, I took Ron's Rumble link and I handed both of you your asses.
I
Yeah,
remember
you
that.
did, but he
Yeah.
was so doped up, like he couldn't even like respond or talk.
No,
But I do apologize for that. But yeah, I
That was
mean,
fine.
it was fucked up because it was just like me up there, and all these people kept coming up there trash talking and shit. And I was the only one that could say anything because he was so doped up and twacked out.
Uh-huh.
He just sits there like, yeah. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to watch was when he had Al up the other night and she wore her little bikini top.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
God.
nasty. Well, plus too, they're new buddies about talking about how to keep women in line, you should beat them.
Dude, I had to turn that off last night. So I was
It was
listening to the stream last night, but I wasn't really in the chat because I was really falling asleep. And when y'all started playing that, I had to tap out. That's
That
some
was
sick
gross.
shit.
It was
Yeah.
disturbing.
And they're
And let me
serious.
tell you, yeah, several of those people in that VC are dead ass serious. Like they talk about that shit in private, like all day long, and that's how they think that women should be treated. It's
That's
bad.
really disturbing. That's really disturbing. And that coupled with the things that Ron and Clara have been just flat out outright saying about me and Yaba and just accusing us of really disgusting, disturbing things. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's really kind of scary.
It is.
It's
Megan
sick.
Fox in the chat trying to troll. Got to come
Oh,
with
I'm
some
not watching the chat.
better jokes, Megan. Come on.
Are we being mean to our panel guests? Come on now. Let's all let's be nice. I don't know. I'm not watching the chat. I would like to think I could trust you all.
It's all good. It doesn't bother me. These ladies will tell you none of this shit.
I'm not at
bothers
home.
me.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find one. And who's got time for that? Okay, so listen. So I wanted to go over some notes as well. Oh yeah, no, I was supposed to start from the top. It's really a quick story. Okay, so the hearing yesterday, 2:00. So I rolled into town. Oh, I don't know. Shortly before the hearing started, right? And so I pull into the parking lot, and it's a small parking lot. You have to understand, like the Fayette County Courthouse, it's small. It's like all the county and I think city offices are in this one building. The jail is like right across, like not even the street. It's like a parking lot, And anyway, yes, Manning. Again. Anyway, so I happened to notice, like, it literally parked right in front of the front door, like the main front door. There's a Hyundai Elantra with Washington, D.C. plate. So, of course, I know immediately whose vehicle this is. Did you know that somebody has wrecked that car? I mean, it has sustained significant damage to the driver's side, or I'm sorry, the passenger side, the front, and like the whole passenger side is fucked up. And then the tail light on the driver's side is busted out. Like something's going on over there. I know
What?
I heard Clara mention, I think one day last week, she was on a panel with Ron and she mentioned something about having a cocktail. I think.
Yes. Yeah, remember you
Oh,
said,
yeah.
you said it. Alex, you said she was like having a drink and like laughing it up or something at us, maybe? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Somebody
I mean,
said
I don't
that.
know. I don't know who's driving what cars. I know that, Clara, she got the newer Hyundai Elantra. It seems that she's allowing Ronaldo to drive the new vehicle and she's driving the older one, which is beat to hell now. Anyway, that was my first observation. So I knew she was already in the courthouse. Fast forward, I go in there right as all the hearings are starting, and I sit down in the very back row on the opposite side of the courtroom from her. And I'm trying to be very like I wanted to even like adjust the way I was sitting in my seat, but I didn't because I did not want to make noise and like draw my attention, right? I wanted to see how long I could sit in the back of that courtroom before she noticed I was there. And let me tell you what, it was a long time. Hey, boho chick, I would swear I was there a good half hour before she because she was on her phone the whole time. And this is why, listen, when you guys hear me tell in the whole context of the thing about this phone situation, the only reason that a judge ends up yelling at me and chastising me about the phone is because she kept talking about me. She kept going back to the crazy lady in the back of the courtroom who's stalking her, who's a danger to her. And so finally he was like, and I think it was like right after she mentioned, because in looking at my notes in my phone, which are actually my text to Yaba, it's right after I type in the text to Yaba that she said she's explaining how everyone knows each other from YouTube. It was right after that I wasn't talking on my phone anymore. So yeah, I think like that's the only reason he said that. So anyway, so I get in there and like court is in session and he's talking to all the criminals, you know, in the orange jumpsuits, like for the first half hour or whatever. Claire's over there on her phone. I'm on my phone. Like there's a bailiff, there's a sheriff's deputy, there's a clerk, there's the judge. Like there's all these people. Nobody's saying shit about anyone being on their phones. I'm not making a ruckus. I'm just, you know, tapping away on my phone. Anyway, so I'm in there a good half hour and finally I feel it. I feel the stare. I feel it. I'm like, fuck. So I
stare of the undead.
Yeah, I could feel it. Her cold, dead, beady little eyes. And so I feel the stare and I'm trying hard, you know, not to look up or whatever. And I'm looking straight forward and I'm like, screw it. Oh, I'm glad you found it. So I'm like, what are you going to, because I didn't think it. Oh no, at no point during the 2.5 hours drive there did I think like, what are you going to do if she looks you dead in your face and asks you, why are you there? Like I didn't. So it was very much like on my feet. Right. So she's looking at me. Finally, I just turn and look at her. And I mean, she's looking dead at me. Mind you, she's 2 rows ahead of me and all the way on the other side of the courtroom. So she's turned all the way around in her seat to be looking at me dead in my face. I look her dead in her face. I didn't even crack a smile or nothing. I just looked at her and she goes, it was exactly the way she says, who do you think you are? That's how she said, what? What are you doing here? And I said, shh. Like I gave a bit of a dramatic pause in between her saying that. Like I'd like, you know, just stared at her dead face. And then her great. And then I turned my head back straight and I don't think she ever looked back at me again. So anyway, she doesn't get up or anything at first. She's tapping away on her phone. And I'm tapping away on my phone. Like, I'm like, oh my God, she saw me. Yeah, I was like, say swear. Anyway. So I'm like typing to Yaba, like, oh my God, she saw me. She looked at me dead in my face. I'll read the messages. Anyway. So then as I'm furiously typing to Yaba, she's over there. I can hear her fingers hitting the screen. She's typing so hard. So I know she was texting Ron immediately. And I can tell you what time it was. I'll tell you how much time Ron knew exactly where my fat ass was sitting while he wants to do all this tough talking now.
Right.
Hold on. It was at 2:44 p.m. is when I text Yaba and said she's wearing brown old lady sandals. Oh, wait, no, that was at 2:22. At 2:22, I said she's wearing brown old lady sandals. At 2:44, I said she just saw me and asked what I'm doing here. Yaba said, LMFAO, no. I said, I looked straight at her and said, shh. And then Yaba says, bitch, swear. I said, swear. She's punching something in her phone. She's going to tell Ron. Oh my God.
She's going to tell Ron.
Like he's going to do anything about it.
Well, he said he was driving around looking for
Well, he was
Sam.
working himself into a toddler rage.
Yeah. Bullshit. He didn't do any of that, but whatever.
Lindsay said the earth stood still. Okay. So then she gets up, right? And she walks out. And okay, so I think I told Yaba when she walked out, but I don't see the time. I see the time that she came back in. She came back in at 2:52. So she saw me at 2:44. It was probably about 2:46 when she walked out, and she came back in the courtroom at 2:52. So she was out there for a grip, but she had left her metallic gold backpack in the courtroom. So I knew she
had
was
a question about the backpack. Is it like a baby backpack from like the 90s? That's what I'm imagining.
No, it's a full size. No, it's a full size backpack. It has a handle on top, like
weird. It's still weird, but okay.
Nicotine says, do you think she changed her clothes and wiped her makeup off when going live? It'll make it like you lied.
Yeah, she even made a point to say that she did not wear this to court. Yeah.
Yeah, well, duh. She already knew that I told her what she wore to court. She looked absolutely she looked like an old lady. If that was the look you're going for, crazy old lady, you nailed it.
Yeah, like she was calling it a date. Like for the first one, she's like, "Yeah, Tragic didn't show up to our date." Like,
Yeah, that was gross.
I just want to remind everybody, if you don't know, but when she was trying to be cool with me, she was dropping her phone number, wanted me to call her, so that I could call her anytime I want. And then she came up with this weird idea to tell everyone that she and Ronaldo and I were in a relationship together, like a sexual relationship together. And
That is so weird. She has
yeah,
some weird, kinky, weird fetish shit going on.
she's like, "Oh, it will make everybody talk about it," and blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, no. And I could tell she got pissed off at that point.
I don't know. Like, has Clara always been batshit and like you just
No.
didn't notice it at first?
I think
know,
she has, honestly.
She asked for his cell phone number in our group chat. It was a group chat of just me, her, and Tragic.
What's up, Moonshine Pink?
Yeah, and she asked for his cell phone number there. She asked for it like in Discord. I guess she did it in private too. Like she was kind of obsessed.
Yeah, she wanted to know like all these details about my life and all this shit. That's why I think part of the reason why she sent that private investigator to fucking stalk me for a month was to get information on me, because she always wanted to know detailed information about me and my life and all this stuff. And she would always say that you're so private, you don't want to talk about your life. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I don't want to. I'm not Ronaldo. I don't put everything out on the internet.
She said that about me too. She was like, "You guys are so private. I don't know anything about you." I was like, "Well, why do you want to?"
Right.
She's so weird. So
She
weird.
is. She's very odd. And she always needs people to go to bat for her. Like, you know, she was begging us to go to bat for her. Now she's got these new people that were going to bat for her. When she was doing foodie beauty content, she had people going to bat for her. Like, she wants people to be surrounding her and, like go to bat for her. And it's so odd. Like, she just can't handle like doing shit on her own. And yeah, it's fucked up. She's a weird person.
She's very weird. And then she ends up teaming up with some really questionable characters at times. I totally get that. Well, listen, and I don't know. I keep saying I can't wait for Al to get the transcripts, but I think we should just go ahead and get them ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I was able to take some notes, but there's just some things, that I'm sure I missed. She definitely came across as batshit fucking crazy. Okay. So after she sees me and I tell her to shush and she leaves and then she comes back, then after the judge finished with like all of the inmates' cases, the clerk started talking to the judge off record. So I don't know if this will be in the transcripts. But the clerk started talking to the judge, and this was my note. I said, "I'm hearing the clerk say not served, but I don't know about what." And then I listened more, and I could tell that they were talking about the Clara Tragic case when the clerk was saying not served. So there was some back and forth between the clerk and the judge. And the judge says, ultimately, he takes the file from the clerk and he says, "Well, we're just going to have to sort that out." Obviously, if I heard all of that, so did Clara. So Clara knew that the judge and the clerk were discussing question on whether or not he was served. So as soon as the judge called the case, then after he took the file from the clerk and said, "We'll have to get this sorted out." My note was, it's her case. The judge just said, "We will have to figure that out." So he calls the case, Clara versus whatever. And just that's the first order of business. And Clara whips out the certificate of service from the private investigator. She says, "Your Honor, I did exactly what you told me to do last time. And I hired a private server and they filed their proof of whatever, proof of service or whatever And she whipped it out, and the judge, like, that was it. He was like, okay, well then, and so my note said the judge considers him served. And then my very next message to Yaba was, she told the judge on me, says I'm stalking her. Judge asked if she filed an EPO on me. She said no. He said he will not address it at all. So that was my note on that. Yeah, she told the judge this woman is dangerous. She's stalking me. Blah blah blah. And what do you think I did? I mean, she literally got like a twofer, right? She had her day in court in front of a judge, no respondent present, no respondent counsel. There were no attorneys. It was Clara and Judge, whatever the guy's name is. I don't remember. On the judge, though, real quick, he's not some old geezer, okay, in Fayette County, Indiana, some hick town or whatever. Like, he's on the younger side. He's probably early 50s, if that. He's quick. He knows what the fuck's going down. He's in touch with present day reality and all the shit that's going on. Like, he's picking up everything that's being put down and then some. Clara, she likes to, paint it as, oh, the laws just aren't, they aren't up to date. And these judges, they just don't get it. They just don't know. Motherfucker understood. And y'all will see from the transcript that he did.
Well,
Anyway.
what I was saying was that her big thing was she didn't want me, once Hussey drops this nonsense shit against AK, she didn't want me to release all kinds of info that I have on her, harassing, stalking, slandering, all kinds of shit against Hussey.
Yeah, she's trying to get an EPO against you before you can cooperate with the opposing side in her ongoing, lengthy, ongoing defamation, slander, libel, and breach of contract lawsuit. Yeah. And the judge, of course, he doesn't know all the details, but the judge was able to pick up from her that, because she told him, when she told him that you were offering what amounted to like perjurious testimony in another lawsuit, you could tell that's when he was like, yeah, we're done here. You're full of shit.
She sounded,
you're not going to tell me some dude in Arizona is sending some crazy person to stalk you. You're full of shit there too.
Right.
And, hold on real quick. Even though it's all different counties, it's still the state of Indiana. Okay. So Clara and Ron, and yes, the judge knew Ron Corbin's name. She said it. It was in the paperwork, right? These judges, Lisa Manning can back me up on this. Right there in front of them at the bench, they have access to the system where every EPO that's been filed in the state of Indiana with Clara Frank's name on it is right in front of his face. Everyone with Ron's name on it. You know how many EPOs have been filed on Ron, or how many EPOs Ron's filed? Clara filed on Hussey, I believe, in Indiana. She filed on Katie. There was ours. Like, this judge was not fucking stupid. He knows what's going on. He wasn't completely clear on the why. And the why that he was asking that he, didn't really understand was, and he even said it, why would some man in Maricopa County, Arizona, send someone to stalk you or be of any sort of threat to you? Like, and he literally told her, but I don't have time to find out because I have important shit to deal with. That's what he said. She's just too fucking stupid to follow, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
She knows. She's just lying. She just because, like, when we get the transcripts and we read them, she'll just fucking like come up with something else. She'll deflect. This is what they do.
Yeah, I can't wait till Al reads the part where the judge asks her if she's filed an EPO on the crazy woman in the back of the courtroom, and she says no, and then he says, well, I'm not going to address any of that. Literally told her, I don't give a fuck what you tell me about that woman in the back of the courtroom. I'm not going to consider any of it. And he didn't.
But then she went on to like,
then she went on and on. Yes. Okay. So after he said that, my next note is she's tattling on the SWAT. And so she goes on to tell, like, and she's like trying to like explain and like as if this judge were a dumb, old man hick who didn't know what a SWAT was. And you could tell that's what he took offense to. He took offense to her talking to him like he was stupid and didn't know what a fucking SWAT was. Okay. I mean, yeah, he was like, yes, I understand what a SWAT is, and I understand that they're dangerous and people can be killed. But he also knew that it was the fucking fire brigade that was called out there. It was not a SWAT. And he recognized that Clara was trying to paint that into something that it wasn't. And he was irritated by that as well.
I bet.
However, with that being said, he was still considering that an actionable offense, and that was her one. So if she could prove that it was Matthew Berlinger who made that call, then yes, that's a strike against Matthew Berlinger. And in the future, I would say if this
Stop
shit
doxing me.
around, sorry, well, whatever.
I'm
That's
just
what the case was on. I'm just
I just mess with you.
But without the respondent present there, though, to deny that was him, then the judge was going to just take that on its face and count it. So
yeah. Well, I didn't do that. I've been saying that ever since they try to blame me for that. But yeah, it goes from the fire brigade and now it's a SWAT. I mean, who knows what they're going to call it next?
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly. Nikki says Clara said on her live that when she went outside and left her bag in the courtroom that she went to the clerk and asked for me to be removed.
Oh, right. She wanted you ejected from the court.
Listen, and I was texting with Yaba and also Lisa Manning because I did check with Manning. Manning didn't know I was going. Nobody knew I was going except for my wife. Nobody, absolutely nobody. And I was already there, seated in the courtroom when I had the afterthought to text Manning and be like, "So hearings are open to the public, right? Like that means like everyone, right?" She was like, "Yes, yes, they are." I said, "All right, you have a good day then." And she's like, I don't like that." But I was like, "Oh, by the way, in case you were wondering, Clara wore her fancy blouse to court today."
Fancy blouse.
Manning says she always asks me after. You want to hear a fun fact? You guys want to hear a fun fact? I don't know if this is widely known, but here's a fun fact. The first time I went to Connorsville back in February, also with very legitimate and legal business between myself and Clara Frank, not to include Ron Corbin in any way, shape, or form, because it did not. Anywho, the first time I went down there to have her served, remember? As I was driving into town, I mean, literally passing the sign that says Connorsville city limit, my phone rings and it's Yaba telling me that I had just been served via certified mail with a cease and desist from Clara.
Fucking hell.
Wow. Yep. So I had to call Manning, right? I'm like, oh gosh, okay, I'll call Manning. I'm literally coasting into fucking Connorsville. Manning has no fucking idea. I was like, hey, so two things. One is I've just been served a cease and desist by Clara via certified mail. And she's like, what? I said, two. I'm not home right now because
I'm currently
Connorsville.
God. It's just so crazy. They're so crazy. I mean, I try to explain some of this shit to people, and they're like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like they can't. They don't understand it.
They think you're nuts. They think you're psychotic.
Yeah. You try to explain what goes on. It's like, what the fuck? What's wrong with those people?
I don't know.
You're bullshitting me.
Yeah, they think you're lying. Or oh my god, look, it does. Outspoken looks like Nietzsche.
Since we all care what everyone looks like now.
Right.
God, she's so hideous.
Okay, so listen. Let me go back to my notes. Okay. So the hearing starts. She tells on me. He tells her get bent. Then she starts immediately with the SWAT. And this is important because I literally quoted the judge next. So it's important for me to explain the fact that the judge did get irritated with her, for one, trying to talk to him stupid about what a SWAT was, and for two, trying to make a call to the non-emergency fire brigade number into a SWAT where people get killed, right? But he was still going to give it to her. But this judge, I mean, he yelled at more than one person in that courtroom today, or that day. And so he interrupts her finally, and he's like, "I know what a SWAT is. It's a SWAT. Yes, I know. Now I need you to tell me, what do you want done about it?" And like, this is how he's talking to her, very, harsh tone of voice. What do you want done about it?
She's wasting his time. She's fucking wasting the guy's time.
Yes, yes, and he said that, and this will be in the transcript. I can't wait to get them. And I forgot about this because when I left the courthouse that day, I was on the phone, obviously, with my wife. She made sure I got to my vehicle safely and whatnot, and
Mhm.
off the property and without being followed. And then as soon as I hung up from her, I was like, I'm dying. I need a drink. I'm gonna go live. So, I ordered my drink, went live. So I didn't go back, review my notes before I went live. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I remember this part and it's great. And the transcript's going to show it. Okay. So he says, what do you want done about it? And he says, nothing is going to change other than what? If you get an EPO, what's that going to change? Nothing. He says, nothing's going to change other than what? You think you're going to swear one out on this lady? And he points to me.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I've had conversations
Really
with
spun that
Ronaldo.
She spun that really hard, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've had conversations with Ronaldo. He's told me straight up that the entire town hates him, like everyone, like literally everyone. That's why I didn't get the point of him trying to open up a store there. If everyone hates you there, why would you open up a store there? It really made no sense.
He's trying to show off. That's why he wants to be.
It was
act like
all a
he's-
big setup. Listen, they knew that store would fail. Okay. They went into it knowing it would fail. And then they purposely did that because then they could point the finger of blame at whoever they wanted to point the finger of blame at and say, you interfere with my business and you caused it to fail. And now we're going to sue you.
I think
And that's what
just
they're
what they do.
legitimately trying to do.
No, I
Right.
think she legitimately bought that business as a toy for Ronald to keep him busy. I don't think she recognized. I mean, maybe she recognized like he wouldn't be able to deal with it and like it would close, but like it was a distraction for him. Hopefully, I really think that's what it started
I
as.
think both things are true. I think she also knew that when it failed, they'd be able to blame somebody. And
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's
Amy
just something
Yaba
that-
live in the state of Indiana. They actually have something to lose. She did. Ugh, freaky weirdo.
Well, I mean, the first location, they got booted out. Like they didn't want them at that location anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was his fault. Like you can't even spin a narrative other than he was the cause of getting tossed out of that first location.
Tragic. I've said it 100 times. He opened it up for spite because everybody said he wouldn't open it. Yeah, he did. He did actually. He literally opened the doors early because I said he would never do it. Like we all said he wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, and there were lots of reasons. Like Ron had his reasons for doing it as well. One of them being, okay, if I have to agree to let this old corpse of a bitch live in my house so I can have access to her dead aunt's money, I ain't gonna be here. So yeah, sure. Fun opening me a brick and mortar store. So I think he did initially fully intend to spend all of his time down there so he wouldn't have to be at home with Clara or his kid. Let's face
I
it,
agree.
leave the kids out of it. But anyway, about it, truth is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he thought he was, but what he failed to factor in was the fact that he could not sit down at his rented space in downtown and smoke his weed.
Right.
And that's all he wants to do. And he literally can't function unless he's token on something. So then he wasn't going down there and he was spending less and less time down there and he'd have to leave so he could go smoke and then come back and then no motivation. Why? Because he's high.
I mean, I just don't think he has like if you listen to him when he was talking about all that shit, like I was listening to him a lot and he was just delusional. Like it was like he was gonna open up like a fucking podcast streaming
Yeah.
thing.
The podcast, the
Yeah.
recording studio. He was going to make commercials for people. He was going to produce music videos and short films.
There's
They were
gonna
going
be
to
like
do
a wall of
photography.
shame. Oh, yeah, a
Oh,
wall of
yes,
shame.
yes. The Wall of Shame, the photography studio, all this shit. He never did none of it. All he did was buy a bunch of shit off Temu and make his mom set it all up. You're not going to tell me that that's not how it went down. And when they moved locations, I know he made Clara hire movers. He didn't move that shit.
No, he didn't. But like when he first opened the first store, and remember we streamed about it. When he first opened the store, it was so. I mean, it was worse than it was so embarrassing that I just couldn't even believe he would bother to just like stream about it or open it. You know.
The best part of it was the tar tree with the
Yeah, but it
hats.
was definitely out of spite. Why else would you open that fucking store?
Okay, so listen, so back to my notes. So after she tattles about the SWAT and he says, "What do you want done about it? And what do you think like nothing's going to change?" And also, what do you think you're going to do? He swear an EPO out on the lady in the back of the courtroom. He told her that's when he told her that I lived in New Albany and I came all the way from New Albany to harass her on behalf of Tragic. And he basically said, like, so what to that. So then she goes on and she brings up that I guess somebody's posted their dogs for adoption on Craigslist or something. And I don't know anything about that. I've heard a little bit of chatter. Can you explain to everybody what that one was?
So what did she say to the judge? That somebody posted?
Well,
their
my note says dogs on Craigslist. So
yes, so the dogs. I don't know who's selling their dogs on Craigslist, but their dogs are being sold on Craigslist apparently.
Yeah, I'm also aware that Negs, aka Ronaldo, was also being sold on Craigslist.
that who?
Ronaldo was being sold on Craigslist.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, nobody wanted him. Last I heard, nobody wanted him.
And it was something about a vehicle being listed for sale too.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think it's the newer Hyundai. Maybe it was on
Yeah.
Craigslist.
Okay, so
about that.
in case you weren't aware, yeah, she told the judge that was you. So we should probably write that down because
God.
I mean, it seems to me that everything that she swore under oath to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to this judge in this hearing where she was asking him to place you under some sort of court ordered legally binding restriction or another. And she's just making this shit up.
I mean, we have
Because
proof. We have proof it wasn't him because we do.
hasn't the person who's done it actually like been open that it's them?
Yeah.
And is that person in my chat? I think.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Outspoken's like that with me, Joe. So okay. So
What you
now
gonna do?
we have Outspoken who's been open and honest and admitted that it's them posting these things.
Look,
so why are you telling the judge that it's tragic?
Look, Negs, he just made you a Grindr account. I don't have any control over that. You know, I can't control that.
All right. So then she brings up the data breach. That was the third thing, was the data breach, which Alex, I know you guys played the clips. Do you have that on your channel, Alex?
Yeah, I do have it on the channel.
Okay, can I have the link so we can watch that with all my friends?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one to play.
Thank
Let me
you.
grab it.
Okay, so yeah, so the first thing she brought up was the SWAT. The second thing she said was that what she said was that you have brought down a reign of terror. Yeah, so it was the fire brigade SWAT, dogs being posted on Craigslist or whatever, and the data breach. Those are the three things that she presented to the judge.
I can't.
Wow.
And yeah, she pointed the finger at you, and she said, she did say that it was regarding her boyfriend. So then the judge says, "What does he want? What is the end game here?" And Clara responds by saying, "To terrorize and harass us." She says, "He knows my partner is ill with bipolar and PTSD, and he knows." Yep. And he knows every time something happens to us, my partner gets very upset.
What?
And I think they are trying to drive him crazy.
Oh
I
my
swear
God.
it was me hammering
Wow.
out this note pretty much. No,
Wow.
it wasn't that one, but yeah. So I typed that out. So then I'm going to read that again, because I feel like that's really important, because this is Clara Alexandra Frank telling the judge of the Superior Court of Fayette County, Indiana, that she is 100% aware that her partner is ill with bipolar and PTSD. And every time something bad happens, her partner gets very upset. And she thinks that the internet is trying to drive him crazy. Yet Clara Alexandra Frank, over the past 2 years, has purchased multiple firearms She has purchased them, not Ronald Corbin. And it is my opinion that Ronald Corbin is not purchasing the firearms because he cannot. He's tried and has been denied, and he can't pass a background check.
Yep. And I spoke to
these
somebody over
reasons.
there. Yeah, I mean, he can't have weapons. He can't have guns, and nobody can have guns anywhere that he lives in his domicile. So that's already been checked into. And yeah, he's not going to have those much longer. If I was him, I would just take those guns to the police station and surrender them at this point.
All of them, including the automatic what was that one that he was brandishing behind him in the. So for the first time ever, Ron has an automatic, what is that? Like rifle? I don't know, some assault rifle.
Assault rifle and
in the background of his Rumble stream, and it just so happens to be an hour after this hearing where I'm present, where he admits more than once that he went looking for me.
Yes, he looked for you around the town. He said he thought he found you and was following you and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. He said I drive a shitty car, that he went looking for me to make sure that I left his town and that he found me. And that's why I skedaddled out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to read this again. So the judge says, what does he want? What is the end game? Clara says to terrorize and harass us. He knows my partner is ill with bipolar and PTSD. He knows every time something happens to us, my partner gets very upset, and I think they're trying to drive him crazy. Then
he's already crazy.
Then the judge asks, like, how do you people even know each other, right? Because the judge is aware that she's talking about somebody in another state.
Uh-huh.
So she starts telling the judge how everybody met on YouTube or whatever.
Oh, God.
Which that makes her sound even more fucking crazy than she did immediately before that when she said, he knows my partner is ill with bipolar and PTSD. So, okay, Clara.
And he gets pissed when people say stuff that try to bring up like his mental illness and shit. Like she was doing that before, and he got pissed off about it. So she stopped doing it.
Yeah.
She just fucked up.
Hunted Sam down in between his slew of appointments. Okay, so then my next note after I say, because the note says she's telling how they all met on YouTube. Wicked Crafter, thank you so much for the super chat. You struck a nerve when the weirdos get so bent out of shape. They look like cows. Yep, exactly. Thank you so much, Wicked Crafter. I appreciate you supporting my channel. I do be putting in the work and I do be delivering as per. So I appreciate your appreciation.
Hell yeah.
Okay, my next note says, this man started a campaign of terror against us. So that's what. So Clara says, the end game is to terrorize and harass us. He knows my partner is ill with bipolar and PTSD, and every time something happens, he gets very upset. They're trying to drive him crazy. We all met on YouTube, and this man started a campaign of terror against us. The swatting is the last straw.
She said that?
Oh, God.
She said all this. Yeah,
she said
legit.
Last straw.
Yeah, and her hair was absolutely a mess. It looked like she has not run a brush or a comb through it in days. In fact, you said that at the very beginning of the stream that she's doing right now with Mandy, she even admits she was a bit greasy after the hearing.
I mean, after hearing this, look, I'm sold. I will pay for those transcripts myself because I need to read what she fucking said.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, because I only got about not even halfway through. And the judge got so sick of her, like pivoting and wasting his time talking about the crazy lady in the back of the courtroom that he was just like, I think he took it out on me. He was like, is that a phone in your hand? And I was like, yeah, like, and I'm telling you, the whole time Clara was in there before the hearing started, the whole time there was like total like 6 or 10 inmates that he went through first. And the whole time we're both on our fucking phones. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk in my comments from my live stream that I did. In the comment section, a lot of people like, yeah, you can't even take phones inside the courthouse where I live and so on and so forth. And I don't have a whole lot of experience in courthouses, but I have in a couple different counties, and they're all different. So like St. Joseph County, Indiana, you can't even take it in the building. Don't even fucking try it. There's notes all over the door. There are several county sheriff's deputies right there at the entrance manning the x-ray machine and the metal detector, and they will make sure you do not smuggle a phone in the building. Then you've got Floyd County, Indiana, where there's a sheriff's deputy at the door. There's a metal detector. There's an x-ray machine, but they don't say jack shit about taking your phone in. You can have your phone in. I've had it in there plenty of times. They don't give a crap about the phones.
Yeah.
Bay County, Florida, same exact thing. I've taken pictures in there. They don't care. So I go to Fayette County, Indiana courthouse, and I'll have you know that is the most unsecure government building I've ever been in. There are no sheriff's deputies at any of the entrances. There's multiple
Right.
entrances. There's not a deputy at any of them. There's not a metal detector. There's not an x-ray machine. And there's no note anywhere on the main entrance or the entrance to the courtroom that says anything about you can't have your cell phone in there. Now at the clerk's office, there's a note on the door that says you will not be served if you're on your phone. So that's just, I took that as meaning get off your phone before you step to my desk. So no, judge, sir, whatever your name is. And when he started reading about the phone, I didn't say shit. I let him talk. She even piped in, judge, I'll have you know that she has, and she flat out lied. She said that I recorded and played a recording of a different hearing involving her, and that's a lie. She knows that's a lie. She knows she can't prove that. Knock it off. What are you doing stating things as fact under oath in a court of law to a judge that you know good and fucking well? A, you know I didn't do, and you admit that you know that. And then B, you know you fucking can't prove it because you know I didn't do it. Like, Manning, are you listening? Anyway, where was I? I digress.
She was being a
Go ahead,
Karen.
That clip's in the background about the
Oh,
the hack or whatever, data breach.
yeah, back to that. So, yeah, the three things that Clara Hondra presented for this EPO was the fire brigade, quote unquote SWAT. The somebody put her dogs up for sale on the internet, and this data breach that she just flat out blames on Tragic. Let's watch.
Every single claim that is made, whether it is about me, about Negs, whoever, you had better come with ironclad proof. Or
Listen to her breathing.
Strawberry Douche would say, dot.
Oh yeah, that's her breathing. That weird rattling sound. The other day, before any of this even happened, I was watching one of her streams, and I literally went back and screen recorded her like nose whistle or whatever. We were losing our shit playing that on repeat. Me and my wife.
Her nose whistle freaks me out. I hate that.
She might want to put that. She might want to put that vape down. The way her breathing is sounding.
Yeah.
Right. I think Ronaldo might be slipping stuff in her drinks.
I would not be shocked. That jackass would do something like that and really believe that he would never get caught. There's the danger, girl. There's the danger.
And no, this isn't her real voice.
Hey, Ticketmaster, we need to have a chat. Those are my.
Oh, wait, what was that? Hold on.
Or as Strawberry Douche would say, dot.
Hey, Ticketmaster, we need to have a chat. That's my ticket. I am not Andrew Carlos, nor did I authorize this. You had a data breach of 25 million customers, and it nearly cost me $2,000. Here's the other seat they stole. So as we all know, Ticketmaster had a data breach of 25 million customers. I'm going to tell you what happened to me during this time.
Yes, Ron Corbin, tell us what happened to you as a result of the Ticketmaster data breach. And let's compare that to what Clara Frank testified to in Fayette County Superior Court on August the 2nd regarding the data breach and how it affected you and the and your financial, all of your apps being hacked.
Every
Also
single,
notice
banking
that they got
institution.
glasses just like mine. These
Yeah, I
glasses
did
like
notice
this,
that.
yeah, they both bought pairs that have glasses that look just like mine. It's fucking creepy as fuck.
I find that really creepy.
Mhm.
Also, notice here, this video was on July the 12th, 2024. So, just how many times, Clairehondra, has Ronald Corbin had all of his apps, including his financial apps, hacked in 2024? Was it just the once?
Institution that I did business with was either hacked or there was an attempted hacking. They charged thousands of dollars of stuff and spent like thousands of dollars of my money on different things from Walmart, trying to have it shipped here and there. They started shipping me stuff. I had to close down all of my bank accounts. I had to close
Really? Wow. Notice
That's
Ron
all
makes no
bullshit.
mention. Notice that on July 12th, Ron makes no mention of the fact that, oh, and by the way, this is the second time all of my apps and financial things had been hacked this year. The first time, some crazy man on the internet was responsible. He doesn't say that in any of those TikToks, does he?
I don't think
No.
No.
No, that's crazy, isn't
Poor
it?
Jeff.
So,
Yeah.
so if what Clara testified to in court on August 2nd is true, that Tragic is responsible for all of his apps and accounts and everything being hacked and whatnot, why didn't he make mention of that on this 2-part? How many parts was this TikTok series on July?
It was
12th?
2. It was 2
2?
parts. Yeah.
Clara, do you have an answer for that, Clara? Because it seems like you have a lot to say these days, and you have the answer for literally everything, even shit you know nothing about. Do you have an answer for that? No, of course you don't.
His shit got hacked from buying those Rumble likes. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably downloaded some weird ass app for crypto that just stole his money and his information. Yeah, his shit got hacked from buying those Rumble likes.
Or
everything
buying
down.
dildos.
I had to
Or what?
Buying dildos or butt
Yeah.
plugs.
Ah!
spend now over $100 a month to monitor my own identity online because Ticketmaster screwed up. Now, as I was saying earlier, I am not Andrew Carlos. I did not.
I love how he goes on to show the proof and show how this is all connected to the Ticketmaster data breach. Thank you for being so thorough, Ronaldo.
Well, the stuff he shows it's not any proof that there was a hack. He just shows that he purchased stuff.
Yeah, and that somebody claimed it. For all we know, he's selling this shit himself.
Right.
You know, he bought the tickets and he's selling. I mean, I'm just saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying that's what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Outspoken says, I believe it was the TikTok hacker that MFW with.
Hey, the TikTok hacker
Goddamn
is on this
TikTok
panel.
hacker.
The TikTok hacker is on this panel right now. Be careful.
AK says, yes, he said Tragic was too stupid to do the data hack and his precious Instagram, and I was behind it. He did say that. I remember, yes.
Uh-huh.
I authorized this transfer. Now, the Andrew's probably going to go out and sell it. I'm going to be at this show. I got new tickets, and I'm going to go meet him and stuff backstage. But Roti 38, whoever's
Hold on 1 second. I gotta let this play. I'll be right back.
All
sitting
right.
there, I'm going to come and tell you you're sitting in stolen seats. There's just no other way. I mean, you could be innocent in all this, but you need to know you bought stolen seats, and then you need to report the person. This is the other seat, 39, Andrew Carlos. Don't know who that is, but I had all of these different Latin sounding names that were coming up with my stuff they were trying to ship. Of course, they're going to use generic Mexican names and generic American names and stuff like that. But Ticketmaster, you did nothing, and you extended nothing to us, nothing to protect our identities. I had to spend multiple hours in the bank. I've had to spend multiple hours online. I've had to spend multiple hours on my couch and at my coffee table, changing password after password, canceling credit card after credit card. I own a business. They hacked into my business account. Oh my God. And then I log on today and find out they stole my freaking Rob Zombie tickets. The sad reality.
Isn't that crazy? Hold on.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for the super chat. She said, legit should have gone dressed to court like my profile picture. I love it so much. Thank you, Nikki. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, wait, I can't get back over there. There we go. I love this. I love how he literally is mapping out how Ticketmaster is responsible for all of this. And then 2 weeks later, Clara goes into court and swears under oath that Tragic did it. I love it.
Just so we're clear, last year or the year before that, remember he went to a Rob Zombie concert and he had the same problem and he tried to get his money back because he didn't like the seats he had. This is a cycle.
Right.
This is a cycle that he does.
Actually, I
Wow.
don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to make a petition over it to ban him from going to all concerts.
That's funny. Two Cardinals in the chat says this is directly from Ticketmaster. We are offering relevant customers a free 12-month identity monitoring
Yep.
service with a leading provider.
Yeah.
Yes, that's yeah. So I brought that up. I looked into it. Yeah, they get a free year of, credit check, identity theft, all that free year.
Oh my God, you're right, Nikki. Rob Zombie is what got you kicked from YouTube.
Oh my God, you're right.
Damn.
Is that poetic or what?
Right.
Yeah, Nikki, no detail gets past Nikki P. Literally nothing. I love it.
Oh,
Same.
yeah.
I love it. That's a great connection.
Okay, so literally like right after Clara told the judge about how everyone knew each other from YouTube and says this man started a campaign of terror against us and the swatting is the last straw. Then I said, or Yab asked me something. And she said, is he listening to that shit? I said, yes, he is asking questions. And then that's it. I didn't say anything else. That's when I got my ass reamed by the judge for being on my phone.
Shame.
So that was that. But yeah, so Clara saying that the judge told her that she had 2 and she only needs 3, so one more thing.
Uh-huh.
And that's absolutely not true. He absolutely said that he needs 3 solid like instances that meet the threshold, right? And he says he just kept telling her like you don't have it. He was gonna go ahead and he's counting the so-called SWAT, which was really a phone call into the fire brigade that there's no proof it was you.
Right.
And although if you're not present in court to defend yourself, the judge is going to take it at face value because there's no one there to contest that.
Yeah.
The second one, then I believe that because like I said, I wasn't taking notes, so I'm trying to remember which one it was that he said because he said you've got 1 and a possible, but then it's my recollection that he went on to like explain all the reasons why the possible just wasn't going to get there either. He did ask her, he's like, well, yeah, if he's the one that made that call and it was a false call, then that is a crime. Did you file a police report? And she said, yes, but they closed it. And she said, Connersville police closed the police report. And they told me I had to take it up with Maricopa County, which I don't think that's right.
No, not really.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You have to go through your own police department.
Yeah. What I've always been told is if it happened to you, then it's where you are is who has the jurisdiction where you are, right? Also, not to mention the fact that they called into the Fayette County, system, not some Arizona county. So that didn't make any sense. But she and the judge isn't stupid, right? The judge knows that too, very good and well, that the police would not have told her that. That's her trying to tell the judge, oh, yes, judge, I went to the police for help and they told me they're just giving me the runaround. They're just, telling me to go to, another county. So anyway, at that point, though, the judge was like, yeah, well, honestly, because you're not going to get Maricopa County to care about a misdemeanor any more than you're going to get Fayette County to care about a misdemeanor. The judge literally said that or something very, very close to that. And then he says, and so then Clara's like, well, that's why I filed for the EPO because that's what the police told me to do. And the judge was not biting on that either. Cause I guess she thought that, if the judge hears that the police told me that I need an EPO, then surely I need an EPO because the police said so. Right. No, the judge goes, yeah, well, He goes, that's what they do. That's what they do. When they just want to get rid of you, they just default to the go get an EPO and and kick it over to us. Yeah, and I think like he even said something to the effect of like, the police don't really understand the law.
Oh no,
He's like
that's
telling her that the police told you to come get this EPO, but they don't understand the law and what's required, in order to get one. So just because the police tell you to get one, that doesn't mean you automatically qualify for one. You still have to qualify.
yeah.
Manning says he's right. Yeah, he's right. So there was that. And I mean, every time he knocked her down and said, you just don't have it, it's just not here, she just kept going and going. And she would usually like point back at me and try to turn it. But he sent a stalker after me.
That's
And the
so
judge is like, you gotta be fucking well. And she didn't help herself by telling the judge that I have been stalking her and her partner for the last 2 years. Okay, so if that's the case, and he asked her, well, have you filed an EPO on her? No. Well, why? And I know he didn't say it out loud, but you could just see it on his face and the way he responded to that, and was like, well, so I'm supposed to believe that this is your stalker of 2 years and you ain't never filed a police report on her
Right.
or filed an EPO on her? Give me a break. Hold on. Nikki says Neg said in Alex's video he got better tickets to see Rob Zombie after his were stolen from Ticketmaster. That enabled him to meet Rob Zombie. Oh, why would Ronald not flex after meeting him? Oh, that's a good question. Good catch. Good catch. So, yeah. So the one that he said, I honestly don't remember. I would think maybe it was probably the hacking.
Data hack.
Yeah, data hack, I think, is the one that he was maybe counting as a possible. I don't know. That's another reason why I really think we should just go ahead and get the transcripts. They're not going to be that costly because it wasn't that long a hearing. It was only one side. Because I'm not going to lie. After I got screamed at for having my phone, and I didn't say anything. Like, I just sat there. Like, I put my phone down. I looked at the judge respectfully. He was yelling at me. He's like, don't you know you're not supposed to? And I was like, no. Like, I was just like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. And then Claire was like, yeah, she's done this before. And he's like, was she arrested? He did say that. When she was like, she's done this before, she's played a clip of one of my hearings. He asked her, was she arrested? Because that's a crime. Oh, and he's like, do you know that's a crime? And I was like shaking my head, like, yes, I know that's a crime. That's why I've never recorded. And he's like, if I find out that you've recorded this hearing, he did say that. And I mentioned that in my stream. I wasn't concealing it or hiding it in any way. I told y'all I got my ass reamed and what he said. But it didn't concern me because I was not recording anything in the courtroom. I'm not fucking stupid. So after the judge said, if I find out you blah, 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 I said, Your Honor, I am observing and taking notes. And I literally said it just like that. I said, I'm observing and taking notes. And I didn't say, that's it. I said nothing else. Not that every time she tried to bring me into it and she was saying all these wild things about how I stalked her. And this is the second time I've come here stalking her and I'm intimidating her and I'm an associate of the respondent. I didn't say a word. I literally just sat there.
Do you know if that courthouse has audio? If they record?
I have no idea. I
want to find out because I know that ours does. I know Howard County does. You can get the audio. They're actually cheaper than the transcripts.
Yeah, I don't know. You would think Al would know the answer to that. I doubt it. It really, like I said, like they don't even have a sheriff's deputy at the none of the entrances. Like there's a side entrance into that courthouse building that's literally a door on the side of the building. And you go up 2 flights of stairs and the door to the courtroom is right there. And like, it's just, they're open. You literally just walk in.
You can get audio for free most times. Yeah.
Really, Manning?
I'll look. I'll see.
Get the audio.
I'll definitely. There's audio.
She says they all record audio. Oh my God, Manning, you're just now telling us this? Like, what the shit?
Oh, you're in Montgomery County? Oops. Yes. Well, everybody knows where I fucking live.
And you can get it for free?
No, I don't know. I thought that, like, when I looked at
hear that, Owl?
When I looked at the circuit court one, it wasn't free, but it was cheaper than the transcripts. I'm just saying. That's what I saw.
I'm laughing at Manning. I mean, yeah, it's totally audio. It's free.
Oh, you know what? Like, a lot of them say that maybe you have to like come and pick them up like in person.
Not a problem. I love a nice drive. That's another thing I take offense to. Ron saying that he thinks he found me and I drive a shitty car. I absolutely do not. My car is cute as fuck. And let me tell you what, it's not a
Oh my
Hyundai.
God. You grew up in Howard County? Of course you did.
For yours, it was $50 to burn a CD.
Mm.
Yeah, but literally coming out of the woodwork.
I graduated from Hammond High School. That's how Howard County I am.
Anyway, so yeah.
So
So the judge had to tell her like 5 or 6 times, like, we're not there. You're not getting it. And he's like, I sympathize with you. I get it. I mean, this swatting situation can be very scary and it can be dangerous, but you're not there. He says, I have to have 3 instances. Sorry, I just read what my wife said in the chat. I swear, when you said you were going to just go ahead and do it, I was like, I cannot believe her, but I ain't going to say shit. I'm going to let you do what you're going to do because you run shit around here, not me. Don't worry. Never mind.
I could guess why the car got all messed up. You know, when he's driving around on his pedo things, you know, he got it from the front and the back, filled up. Filled all the way up, filled his tank up. I was going to say it a different way, but you know, I told y'all I was going to be good boy. So
Yeah. Maybe save that one.
Got smashed from the front and the back. Right, Ronaldo? Oh,
yeah, Scara. There's Scara. Nice to see you, Scara. Glad you could make it. Yeah, we all want to know how the car got wrecked and why Clara drives it. That's what I want to know. Why is Clara driving the beater? The wrecked, old, worn down Hyundai Elantra. You know, that's the Hyundai that she was zipping back and forth between DC and Connorsville for 2 years. And then after that, going back while her aunt died. And that, I'm telling you, it is. And also, do you not have insurance on the vehicle? Did you not report the accident? Because when I tell you there is heavy, heavy damage to the passenger side of that car, not just the passenger side, but so the passenger side, like the front of it, like the front fender on the passenger side, completely smashed and broken out. And then there's a long ass scrape with like major indentation going down the full length of the passenger side.
God
okay.
Damn.
Yes. And then on the driver's side, there's damage and a taillight's busted out. And it still has DC plates. And she has been living by her own sworn testimony in her original case with Hussey in Washington, D.C. She has been a legal resident of Indiana since like March of 2023. Why do you still have DC plates?
Well, she probably also has that cheap ass like insurance that's only covers like yourself, right?
Oh yeah, like PLP. We call that liability or PLP.
Yeah.
It looks like she hit a wall. It looks like whoever it was hit a wall and kept driving. I swear.
Well, I bet Ronaldo was driving. DC's in the passenger side. He's like, "Hey, how can I get rid of this old bag of shit? Hey, let me just swerve into this wall right here and see what happens."
Right, Ritalin? Ritalin said, I'm surprised they would blame Katie for that damage. Me too.
I was just thinking that myself.
She stole the car in the middle of the night.
And Ronaldo's like, yeah, I'm gonna crash and take her out.
But then why did he get the new one? I think she got into a wreck, probably going back and forth.
Well, their new buddies say you have to put women in their place, and then if they're not staying in their place, you got to smack them around
in a car crash.
Yeah, smack them around in the car crash, smack them around at home. Do all that type of shit. That's what they say.
You think she Outspoken says, I think she's the mastermind of it all.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the
It's
DMs
recent. Oh.
that DC was saying. I mean, she
Yeah.
was trying to, you know, unalive herself and shit.
I know, but I still think
Oh my God. Yes,
think
I
it was
forgot
DC.
about that.
I still think it was DC who broke her own car.
Who crashed it? DC who crashed her car?
Yeah, I think she crashed her own car, and that's why she's driving it, and he's got the new one.
No, I think so too. But I think that that Ron was already driving the new one before she wrecked the old one.
Yes,
But definitely, I know Ron's been driving the new one because he flexes. He posts his little, you know, he posts TikToks and whatnots in it. Back when he was working at the store and doing his little 1 minute Facebook live every day, he would make a point of pointing the camera out of the window into the parking lot so you could see his Hyundai parked out there. So yeah, she's been driving it, and I vote that she's the one who wrecked it too.
Look at those
She's
bangs.
driving the hoopty.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to know how she still has DC plates and if that's legal. Like,
it's not.
where
It's not. It's not legal.
what address could she be registering that vehicle to in Washington DC in August of 2024?
It's
Is my
probably
question.
It's probably still at the old address.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, we call that around here improper, ma'am. You have an Indiana
no.
driver's license.
If
You
she gets-
are
if she gets
domiciled in
pulled over,
Indiana.
She's gonna have a problem if she gets pulled over. You cannot have.
Well, not
if
to
you've
mention,
been living there for 2 years, yeah, you need to have the Indiana plates. You will get in trouble for that.
yeah, and not only that, but you know, Clarahondra, you are driving that vehicle on Indiana roadways that are paid for and maintained by Indiana tax dollars that come from the fees that you pay when you register your vehicle in Indiana. So we're going to need you to go ahead and register that vehicle in the state of Indiana and pay your taxes and pay your dues to use our roadways. All right. Since you're so fucking concerned. And I'm glad to see, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I'm glad to see that the grandma's house on Ostheimer, that the county tax assessor has finally removed the old age tax exemption off the property since grandma no longer lives there.
You'll love
I'm
to see it.
Yes, I'm pleased to report that the 2024 taxes for the homestead over there were paid in full by Clarahondra. So we appreciate that, Clara. That you can get that
Clara,
vehicle
taxes.
yeah, get that vehicle registration tightened up, man, and then we'll be on good terms. Samantha Jean, she's been pulled over at least twice. Why would she risk driving the old plated car? I don't know.
She doesn't care. She's like in a fucking delusional state, obsessed with pleasing this fucking weirdo beside her. Actually, you know what? They're not even in the same room. They're not even on the same level. She's up in the attic. He's down in his bunker. This is the weirdest. This is the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen. Like,
Now,
tell me this is not a real couple. This is not.
Now, do you think it makes Ronaldo happy knowing that his lady has less hair than he does?
Yes, because it just means that he has more than she does. Like, he's just happy to have more than anything than anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just curious if he gets off on that.
I'm curious to know if the Buick that Ron's been driving for no less than the last 16 years is still plated and registered in his grandma's name. Because yes, that was his grandma's Buick. This dude would have literally nothing in life if it weren't for his grandma, his mommy, and his corpse of a female girlfriend.
Yeah, Yaba says, AK, I've been saying this for 2 years. I know. There's nothing about this that's real. Like, he looks at her with visible fucking disgust. I don't know how else to put it, but that's how he used, like, he's toned it down, but that's how he started.
Yeah, he's masking it.
Yep, he's
Hey,
toned it
I want
down.
to show a timestamp real quick on this that I have noted next to it. I mean, listen to the words, but also watch Clara during this little clip. I don't even remember what the words are, but I specifically noted watch Clara. So let's see. Let me turn the volume all the way up. All right, watch her. Look Look at Jesus. All right, here we go.
Right.
But I did. I think I found you. And shitty car, by the way.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me tap back a little more. This is where he's saying that he went looking for me.
Oh yes.
Actually, I'm gonna take it back 21, 25. Okay, here. Listen.
No,
You're wrong.
No,
but watch Clara.
Let me remind you too, you fat dumpy cunt, that you also privately have fascinations about inappropriate relationships between middle-aged women and minors.
That's right.
You come here to my city, somebody who has pedophilic ideologies and fantasies about my son, and you're going to come to my city? No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Next time, give me a heads up when you're on your way, okay? We'll have the agreed.
First of all, my guy, I said I was coming. Your girlfriend even said she had a sneaking suspicion I was coming. Also, you knew exactly where my fat, dumpy ass was seated for an hour and 10 minutes. Minimum. That is from the time that Clara saw me, and I know she told you, until the time that I walked out of the courtroom, having been ordered by the judge to wait for 10 minutes after Clara left before I left. So for a minimum, an hour and 10 minutes, you knew where I was. Clara had a 10-minute head start on me. She says in this live stream that she left that court and went to go get her. No, not in this live stream. She said it in whose live stream was that last night? I think it was Belinda's. Clara said that when she left the courthouse, she went to go get her Smith & Wesson. Okay,
God.
but tell me more about how you really that if you had known I was coming, you would have been the welcome committee and you would have whatever. Anyway, hold on. So we're almost to the 22:37 where I said watch Clara.
Greedy. We'll have the welcoming committee roll
That's
out
right.
for
We'll
you.
roll out the welcome wagon. Absolutely.
Yep, that's right. You can meet all my friends, and we're not. No, but you're not going to get hurt. I just want to talk. That's all anybody wants to do is talk. That's all my friends do is talk to find out why you're here in town after having fantasies about minor sex and stalking people. That's really all my buddies would say.
You have no friends, Ronaldo.
Don't worry, they're vets and Satanists with tattoos and bikers and shit like that. So,
Right.
but they wouldn't hurt you. They would just talk to you because you're 5'2" and fat. Why would they want to hurt you?
Right. Right.
But I did. I think I found you.
Right here. Look at her.
She got cut off.
She did get cut off.
Shitty car, by the way. So
That's when he said I had a shitty car. He admits that he found me and that I drive a shitty car.
Uh-huh.
Yikes.
Right.
but I did. I think I found you and shitty car, by the way. So
Right. So, I mean, if you want to call the police, go ahead. You're going to have to explain what the fuck you were doing here, why you were here for the second time, stalking me.
Excuse me, I can absolutely explain to anybody why I was there. Perfectly legitimate and legal reasons why I was there. What are you talking about?
Why do they think they can keep people out of their town? I don't understand this.
I don't know, but look at this on the screen. I guess it was the next day. Here's Clara Frank. I went home to get my dainty Smith & Wesson girl.
Oh, your lady gun? Yeah. Okay. Sure you did. God, she's so full of shit. She's just like Ronald. She's just as bad as Ronald. They're both fucking full of shit.
Yep, always reaching for that gun. One of these days they're gonna have a fucking accident.
They're not fucking doing shit. Maybe Ronald is because he's out of his fucking mind. But this one, she's not fucking running around like strapped all the time.
No, Manning, you are little. Manning's a short, little, tiny little thing. Anyway, I have like so many, like y'all don't even know how many freaking timestamps just in the first 35 minutes of this live stream. Like these two are absolutely unhinged. I know most people don't watch Rumble. So I just took the liberty of going over a couple of these timestamps. Listen to this shit. Listen to this shit.
Over that kind of thing. And so he was
Outspoken.
not willing to brush it off the way people on the internet do because he's a fucking judge.
Oh, thanks
he-
for trying to kill us, Tragic. Appreciate
know,
that.
And he
Faggot.
understands.
Fucking
And
queer.
it goes beyond.
I thought that might be an interesting clip to play, you know, for people who are maybe unfamiliar with Mr. Corbin, who need to get an idea of, you know, the way he feels about, you know,
Somebody
gay people.
somebody
I
used to
guess.
call a brother. Yeah, somebody used to call a brother, like a brother to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Here's another good one.
He doesn't find it funny at all. He doesn't think it's cute. And he was upset about it. But unfortunately, something has to happen. And I told him, well, I just hope that nobody gets killed before
Won't
that
be
third
me.
thing happens.
Won't be
So-
me. Won't be me, motherfucker. I'm telling you right now. Won't be me. I've already told everybody, you show up here, you show up at my business, and you fucking be violent, I'll put you down like a goddamn fucking rabid dog.
And
I don't
He ain't
care.
gonna do
Right,
shit,
and
Quasi
don't
Corbin.
Say it again.
He ain't gonna do shit, Quasi Corbin.
No, we know that. If anything, that was proven for a fact on Friday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Connersville down at the Superior Court.
Right.
I found that interesting because again, I'll explain this to whoever maybe is not familiar with the situation. He's saying these things because I came to Connersville on legitimate business that had absolutely nothing to do with him. Nothing. I did not see him. He was not in the same place I was at. I was not there for any business relating to him in any way whatsoever. It was a hearing, Clara's hearing about a TRO with Tragic. Like, and the first time I went down there was to serve Clara again for proceedings that had absolutely nothing to do with Ron. Is that what he's mad about? Is he mad because he's such a fucking loser that he's not even included in any of this ridiculous, you know, court legal fuck shittery? Is that what he's really mad about? Like, hey, dude, come down here and I'll kill you. What? Nobody's
Yeah.
even talking to you, dude. This has nothing
Right.
to do with you. Sit down, shut up, and be a nothing loser like you have been for your entire fucking life, my dude. This is between me and your woman over here. Sit down and shut up. If you had showed up at that court and sat right down the fuck next to me like you claim you would have done, even though you didn't, but if you had, do you know what I would have done? I would have turned, looked you dead in your face, and told you to back off, my guy. This is between me and your woman. That's what the fuck I would have done.
Yeah.
Back off, dude. This has nothing to do with you. Go to your appointment. Go to your psychiatrist.
Go to your
Where
appointment.
you're
Go-
supposed to be.
Go to your slew of appointments, you fucking weirdo.
He's the
Yeah.
fucking hunchback gal.
No, he can't even step foot in a courtroom. He's probably wanted for shit.
God. Like, back off, dude. You fucking freak. Go to your appointment. Anyway, you
You know
wouldn't have
what
done
this is,
shit.
though?
You didn't do, and that's what he's really mad about. He's really mad because he has been parading around the internet for years trying to be Billy Badass, saying that he'll shoot anyone dead who dares step foot in his city. And who dares step foot in his city not once but twice, but fat fucking Sam. And when it came down to it, when it was do or fucking die, that motherfucker was restricted to his grandma's basement, looking like the fucking chump that he is.
Look,
That's what
It
he's mad
a,
about.
It was a slew of appointments that were unavoidable. Okay. If he could have been there, he would have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He was in his
Somebody
bunker.
start this as Fat Sam.
He was in his bunker riding the Sibian all up in his butthole.
Jesus.
No,
That's
the
right. That's
problem
right.
is-
Don't fence me in. She gunts wherever she wants to gun.
The weird part about it is like
Great.
she did all this. She did all this on behalf of Negs, right? Like she's not mad at Tragic. She's not scared of Tragic. She's doing this for Negs. And
Yeah.
Negs did not get his prize. That's why he's mad.
Yeah, just like
he wanted to be tied to Tragic somehow. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to see him in court. God only knows. But this was all about appeasing Negs.
Yeah, well, remember back in the summer of 2022 when Ron all like back to back, one right after another, filed EPOs on me, Yaba, and Katie?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And that was right after him and Clara got together. And you're not going to tell me she's not the one who she did that. All these years, this war between Ron versus Sam and Yaba and Katie, and there was not one EPO filed, not one police report. I mean, he called CPS, but he only did that to be a dick. You tell me all of a sudden him and Clara get together and he fires off 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 emergency protective order petitions with the court? No.
I couldn't believe when she did the 2 on Hussey. I was again, if she didn't ask any of us, yeah, I've said that before. She just showed up in our Discord and was like, "Look what I did," and then
Yeah.
showed like photos of her filled out EPOs on him.
Yeah, that Lisa Manning says, "Bro, I remember." And that's when we all met Manning. Manning was a silent viewer until Ron filed those EPOs on us, and she came like a it was like the bat signal was sent up, and she answered it on Twitter, out in the public too, not even DM. She was like, "I can help," and I was like, "Babe, this person on Twitter, says they're a lawyer." And their Twitter handle totally says law in it, so it must be legit. So I did my full research on this Lisa Manning person, and then the rest is history. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Clara and Ron. Jesus, they're just so. I literally have. I'm not kidding you. Like 50 timestamps wrote down, and half of them have stars next to them.
Because this is a batshit fucking live stream.
Yeah, like this one is 27 minutes 5 seconds. It has an asterisk, an exclamation point, and a question mark. Let's see what that was all about. 27:05. Here we go. Hold on. There we go.
And again, every single person, well, the adults in this house are fully armed. So I would
fully.
mind the way you go.
Oh yeah, this is the two of those. These two jabronis once again threatening me with firearms. For what? What
threats.
did I do?
More threats. Anybody can go to any court hearing and sit back and observe.
Yeah,
There's nothing
I
wrong
did
with
not
that. People do
engage
it all the
with
time.
her. I didn't engage her. I did not sit down in this chair immediately next to her with the express purpose of making her uncomfortable and intimidating her. Ron said that that's what he would have done, that he would have sat down right next to me. And when I got up and moved, he would have moved, and he would have just kept doing that until they threw us out of the courtroom. That's what he said on this live stream. He admits that he just would have harassed and intimidated me in person in the courtroom. You really think that would have got the two of us kicked out of there, sir? You really think that if you had pulled that shit in my presence that I would not see to it that you were thrown in that fucking jail for harassing the shit out of me?
Mhm.
These two are insane. Like, I can't believe they act like this in public and get away with it. I really can't.
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic. And DC was saying that it was a must that he has to go to therapy and stay in therapy. And that was even brought up by ATX. I think she sent that to you, Alex, right?
Yep. She said that when she told me that whole story about, Ron contacting her job, about the what was it you just said? The I'm sorry. I just blinked out.
No, about the therapy, about how ATX
the therapy. Yeah, it was mandatory, like for their relationship, that she was supposed to, or that he was supposed to go to therapy, be medicated, everything. He went to one therapy appointment, Mandy said, and then was done, because she said it was the internet that he needs to get off the fucking internet. That's what the therapist recommended.
I'm sure the therapist did say that, absolutely. And it's funny that it just so happens he claims that that was one of the slew of appointments that he was at that was so important, that he was getting his meds right again. And
well, the mandatory for the relationship was because he had a girlfriend on the side while she was living with him.
Yeah, Christina stripper pole.
Christina Lava Lamp, yes.
Yeah. That's why that was their solution, the mandatory therapy, which he went to 2 of, as you said.
Oh, we have the DMs too, where she said that she's deprogramming him. Give me some time to deprogram him.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting tidbit that I don't think I've ever disclosed before. So the first time I went to Connorsville to have Clara served, Ron went live that day. I was like literally about to leave on my way out of Connors. No, I was still live when he went, or I was still there when he went live. In fact, I watched the majority of his stream from my car. But anyway, he said on that day that he was at Meridian, which is, I guess, where he was going for his outpatient mental health evaluations. He said he just so happened to say that day that he was at Meridian that very day that I was there. Well, it just so happens that Meridian is located on the road that I drive into town on. Ron claims he's like, I know which route you take, and it's to the interstate. I don't take the interstate. I've said that. I said that back in February or whatever that was when I went the first time, and I've said it this time. I don't drive the interstate. I take the back country roads the whole fucking way. And so the scenic route. And so the road I come in on, Meridian Health or whatever it's called, but it's definitely Meridian. It's right there as you roll into town. And so I remembered that the last time I was there, he claimed he had been at Meridian, and I noticed it coming into town that day. There's a big sign and everything. So when he said that, I was like, wow, I drove right past that place coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I drove in on Friday, I drove past the big, the Meridian with the big sign and everything. And I thought to myself, and I did. And the parking lot's right there. You can see the whole parking lot from the roadway. I did not see a newer model Hyundai Elantra in the parking lot of the Meridian. And supposedly, according to Ron and Clara, that was the appointment he had that day. Because Ron says, either in this stream or in a later one, he talks about how he had the appointment to get his meds back, situated. Yeah, and he went into detail of saying how they had cut off his Lamictal, which is Lamictal is a big boy mood stabilizer for bipolar and other mood disorders. So I'm sure of it that he said that. So Claire, that's crazy that he tells you he couldn't go to that court hearing and accompany you and support you and maybe even be a witness for you for the EPO because he had that super important appointment at Meridian. And that's probably the only type of appointment that he could lie to her and say that he went to be excused from being at court. And she bought it. She believed him. Do you have your female boyfriend on Life 360, Clarahondra? If not, you might want to, because he's definitely lying to you. Because I'm telling you, there was no Hyundai Elantra parked in the parking lot of the Meridian during your court hearing, sister girl.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, is it possible he went to a different doctor? I'm just saying.
Anathandra Jean says, what about a slightly used it's not an 02, it's an 00. What about a slightly used 2000 Buick LeSabre? I would have recognized that car in the parking lot as well. As you know, my daughter used to drive one. Hers was gold. No, there was no 2000 Buick LeSabre in the parking lot either. Honey West says cutting off Lamictal is a process. Yeah, unless you just stop taking it because you're an idiot.
Oh, that can just give you seizures. So have fun with that.
Oh, wait, to answer your question, is it possible he went to a different doctor? I highly doubt that in the greater Connorsville, Indiana area, that there's more than one outpatient mental health facility that is taking Medicaid patients, adult Medicaid patients. No. It's still the Meridian.
Fair enough. I mean, I know that he said before he would get it from like his general practitioner or whatever.
Yeah, in the past he said that, but remember he made that big to do. It was last summer about how he finally got his diagnosis, and that's how that's how the general public and online are aware of the fact that he does have a mental health diagnosis, one which would absolutely bar and ban him from legally purchasing and obtaining and owning firearms in the state of Indiana. Yep. Clara Alexandra Frank. Oh, matter of fact, let me bop to a part in this Rumble stream where he's on camera. See, look at this asshole. The first time ever. And look at that. Is this responsible gun safety? These are guitars that he has affixed
His
to the
rifle.
wall.
Yeah, his
in
rifle's
some way.
resting on guitars.
That's not safe. That's not. You have a child in the home. Is that safe and responsible?
It's ridiculous.
Gun
No.
ownership and gun handling and gun safety. It abso-fucking-lutely is not.
Shit, I didn't even notice that before. What the fuck?
He does
Yeah.
that to intimidate people, I think. Like, I don't know.
Well, this
but-
is the first time he's done it, and just so happens to be during a stream where he makes it very clear that he is a threat to me, that he went looking for me to make sure I quote leave his town. That he said during the stream that he was going to be talking to quote his friends about me the next day, his biker friends, his very
Oh, yeah.
scary friends. Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
that
when
is
trying to be cool on the internet goes wrong.
that is a boxing glove. I think that
Oh
is a
my
boxing
God. I
Yeah.
see that now right there. Yeah.
glove.
Look at the way he's looking at the camera. Look
Ugh.
at him. So scary and intimidating you are, Mr. Corbin, for sure. Why did he keep going off camera? What do you guys think? Isn't that a little odd?
Crackhead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what he's doing. He's just smoking some shit.
He kept finding a reason to stare into the camera menacingly too. It was great. Look at that.
Look at that.
wanna-
Look at that. What a piece
Hold
of
on, let me
shit.
just see real quick if that is one of my timestamp. It's not, but just a minute prior was. So let's see. 6:15. Actually 15:57. Let's listen.
Now, before the hearing took place, I had a sneaking suspicion in my gut that Sam was going to show up. I
Bitch
had a
cunt.
feeling.
Did you hear what he said?
Something
After she bitch cunt. Yeah,
Bitch cunt.
that's how he is absolutely seething with
Wow.
hatred and anger towards me. As soon as my name is mentioned, he cannot contain himself. He says, bitch cunt. Listen.
It's fucking psychotic.
And
Yeah.
Now, before the hearing took place, I had a sneaking suspicion in my gut that Sam was going to show up. I
Bitch
had a
cunt.
feeling that she was going to be
Wow.
in the courtroom. I don't know what it was. I just thought, it's getting to the point now where she's looking at me the way she looked at Pirate
5-hour
and-
round trip.
and the stalking.
So he's really hung up on the fact that it's a 5-hour round trip. It's
What
two
else
and a
can you
half.
say?
It's 2.5 hours there. Both times I've been there for several hours, and then it's 2.5 hours back. What is your point? What is your point? Which point?
There's no point to it. It's just that he has nothing else to say.
It's not even. It's not even crossing state lines. I don't have to travel on the interstate to get there. I can literally go the street way.
If the courthouse was right next to you in your own town and you walked over and sat down they would say the same exact thing. What, don't you have better things to do? Why did you waste your time? Why'd you walk all the way over there? Like, it's just, it doesn't even matter. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, this is my commitment, to my job. This is what
Yeah.
this is my vocation. This is how I earn a living. I make a paycheck doing this,
Yeah.
Exactly, Lisa. Sam made money off that trip by reporting on it. Why wouldn't she go? I have been covering Ron Corbin in his whatever he puts on the internet publicly, and then some since 2017. Okay, this has been my content. This is nothing new. And Clarahondra, you entered his life and you became a part of that as well 2 years ago, I guess. I cover Clara's court cases. I cover the public businesses that they speak about and advertise and talk about publicly. Like, what are you talking about? Lisa Manning says, sorry, yeah, but I was working. What was the question? You're so funny. I agree.
Hey, that was
Lindsay.
all
I
research and
in there.
development. That was all research and development purposes.
Yeah, I mean, I have an audience that is interested. It's all public, everything is
They
public.
act like they don't do the exact same shit. Fucking Belinda, if anybody lived anywhere near her, would be doing the exact same thing.
Well, she sends private investigators after people to stalk them.
Yeah.
She just did it to me. She did it to Hussey. She did it to you guys as well. I mean, you probably never noticed, but she was doing the same shit to you guys, trying to send an investigator to follow you guys around. I mean, we have that in DM saying that she was doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really?
Or Arabia.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
No, I know for a fact she sent Arabia. I know that for an absolute fact.
Yeah, Mandy was like soliciting it to people.
Yeah. I still talk to one of Arabia's daughters, the one that has, I mean, she don't fuck with her mom anymore ever since that shit back in 2020. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Arabia, fucking clown.
I
Yeah.
can't believe they
Why
paid her
do you think
$500.
why do you think Arabia will not fucking show her face anymore, no matter what? And fucking Mandy's the only one going around doing, oh, Arabia, she's got this. She ain't got shit.
Yeah, 'cause
Alex,
she's the lion's
tell
neck of shit.
exactly. Alex, tell them how many receipts she's claimed that Arabia had that she would get from Arabia or that she got from Arabia. And how many did she actually produce?
Actually, Sam is the one that produced it, which was the one about the fucking
Oh,
money,
God.
the court fees that she raised that Mandy took through her PayPal. That's the only one that Mandy had given me some sort of a receipt about. But she always had stuff to say about Arabia. Oh, Arabia said this. Oh, this happened, or the Six Flags stalking incident that never fucking happened.
We got exactly 0 receipts from Arabia.
Zero.
Because it was all lies. And
Mhm.
listen, the people who were around back then in 2020 when that shit went down, they will tell you Arabia was going on panel like every day. It was like for like probably 2 solid weeks, maybe a little more than that. That bitch was on somebody's panel. And you guys know how we do around here, nothing gets past us. You are not going to contradict yourself or, tell 2 different stories. And if you just change something real slight, like the color of the fucking dog's hair, motherfuckers are going to catch it. And
Yeah.
people caught on real fucking fast that she was not telling the same story twice. And I mean, she was obviously a liar. And then there was the whole like side shows too, where like she kept posting videos where she was obviously lip syncing, but she said she was singing. And then people were asking her to sing live and always some excuse at the end why she couldn't sing. Like she was a fucking joke is what she was.
Wow. See, I didn't know that was her. I didn't know that was her lip syncing, because that's actually a video that I'd made of some reviewing thing that you'd done, like a review of hers. And Mandy was like, no, that's her singing. Like, she's a great
No,
voice.
it's not.
Mandy,
No, it's not.
You're a fucking clown.
Somebody, one of my subscribers actually found like the original video of the original person singing that, and we put it side by side. And I mean, it was obvious,
Wow.
like she was sitting in her dumpy little 2-bedroom apartment in Muldraugh, Kentucky, and somehow like it had the acoustics of a fucking cathedral. Like, yeah, okay.
God.
That whole thing with her was all about money. That lazy bitch wasn't working. She was broke. She thought she was gonna get some money out of me, telling me that she had to pay a pet deposit for my dog, and one thing led to another, and that shit got out of control real fucking fast. But anyway, whatever. Anyway about it, that bitch is a fucking liar. I mean, I showed screenshots of messages from her daughter where her daughter was like, my mom's a pathological liar. She lied to you about this, and this. Like,
I believe it.
that's why that dumb bitch won't show her face around here again, but whatever. Yeah, I guess she told Alex some story that I really did stalk Yaba and that I followed her around a Six Flags theme park as if. And
Yeah,
she
I
said,
heard this story too.
not
Yeah,
true.
I'm like, Sam's a stalker. She was following Yaba around the theme
You know
park.
what
How
happened?
stupid do I
You know
look
what-
now?
You would
Fucking
tell me
Mandy.
these things. You would tell me these things, and it's like one of those things where like I take it at face value. I don't put a lot of stock in it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. If a weirdo stalker or stalked around Six Flags, but like if someone were to tell me any compelling evidence otherwise, or even just like proving that the person saying it is out of their fucking minds, I would immediately be like, oh, okay, yeah, that didn't happen. But like it's just like I don't know. I know that ATX would do this all the time. She would just constantly be DMing. I know Alex a lot. with all this like stuff about you guys and like and how horrible you in particular were, and I didn't even see half of it, and I was already asking questions like why the fuck is one person like this, like I don't, and then I'm like, why is there no evidence of any of this, like
Okay, so listen, like the majority of the shit that Arabia said, the majority of it, like it was lies. Some of it was just completely wild, made up shit. Some of it, like there was some truth to it, but then she would just completely change it to make it just ridiculous. So the thing about following Yaba around a Six Flags, that is not true. Like the closest thing I could think of is like that first summer of 2020 when I was at the very tail end, when I was still kind of talking to Arabia, like as a friend or whatever. I was living in my own apartment, and Yaba was living, still with her kids and everything and her whatever. But we would meet up, like she would take her kids to the pool and I would like meet them there, but we would just act like, I'm just somebody that was like the first 3 times I think that like we went to the pool together. So like, we weren't like openly, like we, just like we met at the pool, we were just talking, whatever. That is what, and of course, I'm sure I probably told Arabia that, like, because
yeah, but that's not the same thing as like
stalking somebody around.
No, like that's like we're not ready to stand to sit here and explain to these children, that who I am yet. Like we weren't even like officially like in a relationship. I mean, we were like dating, talking, whatever, but like we weren't living together. We weren't seeing each other every day or anything like that. And it wasn't at a point in which you would like introduce the children to like, this is my girlfriend who I met on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was it. But she literally took that into like, yeah, Yaba took her kids to Six Flags and Sam had to trail behind by like 10 feet. And she did like, no, like, so literally. And that's what she did, like with everything. Like when she said that, like I was stealing from my job. I don't know if she was talking about the fact that I had a set of dentures made for Julian's mom and she didn't have to pay for them. Like if you want to call that stealing, even though, the whole staff.
She had a lot of different stories about you stealing from that particular job. I don't know why she was a bit obsessed with that dental place.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
weird
because Mandy's jealous. Mandy doesn't want to work. She acted like she enjoyed that caregiving job that she did. But if she did enjoy it so much, she'd still be doing it instead of sitting online obsessing about online shit, or sitting at home while Sean's working obsessing about online shit, because someone told me that is all Mandy does all day long. And she'll be texting Sean about it. She has like her group chats and she talks about it and everything. Like she is obsessed with Trisha. Period.
She's obsessed with Trisha and she's obsessed with me. And I don't know what I ever did to Mandy for her to like go after me the way she does, but it's really fucking weird. Like really. Oh, this is a good one. Anyway. Yeah. Hold on, am I sharing? Okay,
well, I mean,
I don't know if they're still alive. Oh no, they're just ending over there, Mandy and DC, so that's good. She'll probably take it down.
Yeah, because she's so brave like that.
I mean, Mandy's mother-in-law doesn't want her doing any of this stuff. She doesn't want her involved in the online stuff. She'd asked her to stop. I think after Sam had talked to her, actually, she'd asked her to stop doing it. She didn't want her and Sean doing the drama. Has Mandy stopped for her mother-in-law that she loves so much? No. She hasn't. I think that the reason why Mandy has so much to say about Sam and her kids is because her own daughter fucking hates her and does not talk to her. And Mandy has shared that with people that, have been close with her, are close with her, whatever. Talks about the fact that her daughter hates her. Like, I never knew that. Mandy never told me that. I thought that her daughter was like still talking to her in the picture, whatever. But no, her daughter doesn't talk to her. So I just feel like a lot of it is like a jealousy thing,
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh no, it absolutely is. Look, okay, hold on.
Mother-in-law knows.
Oh, go ahead. If the mother-in-law knows that she's still doing it.
Yeah.
No, I guarantee you she doesn't.
I don't think so. No.
Oh,
Okay.
really? I guess she's gonna have to find out.
Why is she
Well,
like bringing Callie up into it? Callie didn't. Like,
she's
literally
not
do
going to
anything.
care. I can tell you that. The mother-in-law will not care. Mandy and Sean are master gaslighters, like for real. But hold on, I'm just bopping through because they just got done. Oh, look at that. That is not
Who's
what
that?
she looks like.
Oh, is this
That is
Arabia?
Yeah, supposedly. But look, so Arabia is supposed to be Mandy's friend, and Mandy's supposed to be Arabia's friend. And she's putting this tweet on the screen where me and Yaba posted that this is the actual shithole that Arabia was living in New Albany, and she got evicted. She couldn't even pay the rent on this shithole. I want to watch this part. Let's see what they're saying.
Exchange. I did not try to force her. I did not try to coerce her.
Hold on.
I was waiting for
Back
them
it
to
up.
try to circle. Okay, that's what she said to me on June 27th.
Okay.
I didn't respond. This was the next exchange. I did not try to force her. I did not try to coerce her. I didn't try to convince her. Alex Glitter, you are a motherfucking liar. Callie,
Yeah, really, Bunny. Can we call her by her name? Billy. Yeah, her name's not even Arabia. It's fucking Billy. Billy Joe.
approached me about filing an EPO on Sam.
Oh, Callie approached Clara about filing an EPO on Sam. That's
She
interesting.
approached me, and I
Wow.
gave her pointers. All right. And when
Clara, you're
That's
fucking right.
right. That's a fucking banger.
she told me that it was probably time, to just set it aside, and I probably won't
Right,
get
right.
one or whatever. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't respond. I didn't try to force her. I didn't
Right,
say
right.
shit to her. All right. So here we've got, this is a good one. Here's a tweet from Yaba. Damn, no wonder she hates Sam so much. This is what she can't afford to pay. Girl, you should be focusing on your life. And I think that is, I think that was Arabia's house. Now,
Yep,
keep in
it
mind,
sure was.
when Sam took me to court, it was because she was so terrified of Arabia. She lives right across that bridge.
Yeah. She
Right.
brought us all into that document. She was
Right.
like,
So,
Yeah.
so
What were
here's
you doing just
Yaba.
the other day, Clara?
Here is Yaba.
Idiot.
What were you saying to the judge just the other day?
That's my
Mhm.
stalker. That's my stalker. Take her out. Take her out. Bailiff, get her. Get her. She's gonna stalk me.
I'm in fear for my life.
I'm in fear for my life. Bailiff, get her. Lock her up.
If I were Billy Joe and Mandy was my so-called friend and she was putting pictures of this shithole shanty that I got evicted from because I couldn't pay the fucking rent on the screen, she wouldn't be my friend no more.
Well, maybe they're
No.
gonna say it's not her. They're gonna be like, "That's not her house," and they're gonna make up some.
Oh
Stupid-
no, it is. It is. The eviction is public record on mycase.in.gov. The
I
eviction's
know.
on there.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter though. Reality doesn't matter to these people. So maybe this is their cope.
You want to know the sad part? You want to know the really sad part about this picture?
Hmm.
Is okay. So this is actually a duplex. So this is the front unit. That's the door into the front unit, and this is the window that's busted out, that's boarded up.
I didn't
This
know
picture, this picture was taken while Billy lived there. Okay, this was yes. This is the condition while she lived there. See this door back here in the back, this white door back here.
Mhm.
That's the entrance to the second unit. And the second unit, her daughter lives there. And her daughter lives there with one of her grandkids who the daughter has custody over because it's not her kid, it's her sister's kid. But all of her kids have been taken away by DCS. One is an actual legit foster care. One, that father's mom has custody of. And then this one, the third one, her oldest daughter had to be appointed the guardian of, or else he was going into legit foster care. And they live so her oldest daughter, who gets a disability check, that's the only reason she's stable enough to have guardianship over the one grandson. Anyway, she lives in there on Section 8 with the grandson and Billy's youngest son, who's like in 4th grade, because Billy checked out on parenting. That she has 7 kids and she's been done. So yeah, the younger son lives there. And then Arabia, I guess this unit came open. I'm sorry, Billy. This unit came open. Billy moved in. She wasn't even there like 6 months and she was evicted for not paying rent. So that's your friend, Mandy, who you're getting all your fucking information on me on. Fucking
That's sad.
loser. But this really legitimately is where she was living, where she got evicted out of. And that was just what I think it was earlier this year, or maybe it was last year. No, I don't remember. Anyway, about it. Fuck. And then when I said something about the eviction, of course, Mandy went running to Billy and told her about it. And Billy sent this big long text message back saying, "She's so stupid. I'm not getting evicted for not paying my rent. I moved out and moved in with my girlfriend. And that eviction filing is just because I broke the lease." Honey, no, it's all in there. The notes at this point, that case went on forever because I guess she kept scratching up a little bit of money and getting the landlord to call and get an extension on it. But yeah, so it took him like 6 months, but it's all and it's there on my case, the mycase.in.gov that y'all love looking shit up so much. It's there. It's whatever. I mean, anyway, I don't know. I think I would be pretty fucking embarrassed though if that was my friend and they had my shithole
Hell yeah.
on the screen like that. But that's just me. What do I know? Okay, so hold on. This is what Mandy wants everyone to think fucking Billy Fulton looks like. Hold please, because I found. Excuse me. I just have to find it and send it to my computer. Y'all want to see what Billy really looks like?
I think I've
I'll
seen the
show you.
pictures of what she looks like, but yes,
Girl, where is it? I swear I keep seeing this fucking picture now that I want
That's not even Face App. That's Angelina Jolie. Like they just.
Dude, that is AI, is what that is.
That's
Okay,
AI
that's
shit.
one of those. Take a selfie, and then we will, make you look like a celebrity AI. Oh, wait, is it on my phone or is it on my computer? Hold on a second. Shit. Hold on. Because I felt like I was keeping it handy so I could show you all, and now that it's do or die, I can't find it. Hold on. No, for real, because this bitch, I'm telling you, the absolute nerve of this heifer.
Arabia would be like, can you stop?
Don't worry, I'm gonna find this shit.
Drama online,
Oh, you're roboting, hun.
Oh,
you're roboting a little.
You've turned into the robot.
Come back to us, girl. I cannot believe I didn't move that picture. What a dummy.
Is that better at all or no?
Yeah, that's better.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yeah, if I were Mandy or if I were Arabia, I'd be like, girl, why are you bringing me into all this stuff? Like, I don't really want to like be connected to Sam like you do for the rest of your life. Like, can you stop bringing me up into your bullshit? But Mandy, that's the only thing she has is like Arabia. It's crazy.
Literally, and this Arabia, aka Billy Joe, is nothing but a big fat fucking nothing burger. She is a whack job ass weirdo liar freak.
Like, why are you showing my dumb home, girl?
Yeah, that part.
What'd you say? Oh, why are you showing my dump? Y'all are funny. Hold on. I'm dead ass. I can't believe I had to look at that freaking picture so I could show y'all assholes. And now I can't find it. That pisses me off.
That's always how it is.
No, I'm gonna get it. I don't care. I got time today.
The other thing is like, why are they bringing up like things with Callie? Like, yeah, I did say that Clara was amping up Callie because she absolutely was. Like, what did she just say? Yeah, I was giving her pointers. That's not somebody that's telling somebody, no, don't go ahead and do it. And
exactly
happened is that Sam had messaged Callie's uncle, and she was like,
Yup.
okay, that's enough to get something, whatever. Like, I'm gonna go through with it now. And Clara was right there cheerleading the whole thing. So was Mandy. And Mandy took it upon herself to then say that she was like in the process of trying to serve Sam when she never was. It was a lie. She
Yeah, it
never
was
Yeah,
all
wanted to
why
serve
bullshit.
her.
why did she do that? That was so messy.
I don't know. I feel like she kind of wanted to be like, she didn't want Callie to like maybe upstage her or something. I don't know. Like, she wanted to be in the mix of like, the open your door Sam bullshit. Like,
That
that's what I
makes
think.
sense though. That is definitely Mandy coded, for sure.
I'm like,
That
Mandy, I
fucking
see
weirdo
you.
freak.
I see you now.
Yep. You should have seen her now. You got that right.
How come nobody ever asks in their communities like what happened with these things?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
exactly. Mandy, because they're just like, oh, she never opened door for service. She wouldn't open her door.
Okay, well, why does this keep
Bullshit.
happening? Like that's the same thing I asked about the stupid fucking Arabia thing, because I'm like, how does this happen in real life that you just somehow got a fucking EPO against you because somebody lied? Like, that just doesn't happen. It doesn't make sense. Like, it just
Yeah.
doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah, that's one of the other things is that Mandy had done a poll on her channel, and she's like, do you think that like would our subscribers pay to help us, take Trisha to court? And I think that's one of the ones that I dropped in the thing, but I don't know. Anyway, that was a whole ass lie too. She just saw DC and Nags getting money for their, quote unquote war chest, right, to help the community out in case anybody else got sued or whatever, which totally was a lie. But anyway, Mandy saw that and she's like, oh, maybe we want to take Trisha to court. Or maybe it was a whole ass grift. I don't know. But she was putting her feelers out there to see what if people would donate money to them. In my opinion, that's what I think. But she
That's
never had
so weird.
any like she was never going to follow through with that, right? Like, she was never going to like take Trisha to court for what? Trisha probably has so much stuff on them for being stalkers.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Well, just like they raised money for freaking Billy, claiming that she needed money for lawyers' fees because I got an EPO on her and she told everyone that she was going to appeal it and she was going to fight it. And she never got an attorney, and they know she never got an attorney.
Yeah. I mean, she admitted it to me. She was basically like, when I'd asked her about, the whatever, and I said, well, Sam just posted receipts on Twitter saying that there was like $500. And Mandy's like, oh, well, yeah, but that was like, for lawyers' fees. I said, well, did she get a lawyer? And I specifically remember like where I was in my house when I was talking with her, like, because it was so weird to me. Like, that's when I was like, and she's like, oh, well, she she didn't really get a lawyer, but like, whatever. It was like $500.
Yeah, no, she didn't, and they knew that, and they just didn't care. I guess I don't know.
Because they're
That is
fucking grifters.
awful.
When you don't like, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, she had the fucking audacity to call Joss a scammer. Joss in a very short amount of time lost her mom and her, beloved dog. And what did Mandy do when Joss had asked, for some help with, with I don't know, it was like the cremation of her dog, and it wasn't even that much money. Mandy straight up was like, called her a fucking scammer, said, you're trying to scam my family, which was, I don't know, like her cousin or cousin Andy, whoever the fuck that is.
That's Sean's cousin, Andy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, our family gave you money. And, but what it really was is that Mandy didn't want people giving, in my opinion, that Mandy didn't want people giving Joss money and not her, and take it away from like, the money that her and Sean get from people or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What a gross bitch.
Oh wow.
That's Billy. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you. I know she could tell I was struggling in here. That's not the picture I was looking for, but yeah, that's Billy.
Yeah,
That's a huge difference. Oh my god.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
hideous.
But for some reason, Mandy keeps putting them damn AI picture artist rendition pictures of her ass
know
up
why?
there. I'm
You
like,
know
that is
why?
not what that bitch looks like.
I think I understand why. That's how she sells all of her stories, right? Like if you
Mhm.
put her real photo up and then sell the same stories, it's like, what do you mean this ugly bitch said this weird, you know?
Well,
Yeah,
kind of goes along with the
exactly.
whole, Sam is somehow jealous of Arabia or something, because that's kind of what she wants people to think too, is that like, Arabia is not some fucking loser, and that she's some prize, like, word should be,
Right.
believed and
Like
everything.
her word means something. That's what it is. They're trying to make
Yeah.
her word mean something when it absolutely means fucking nothing. I don't know this bitch. Like,
She does the same weird shit with Trisha where she's always like, she'll take, pictures of COVID boyfriend's new wife and be like, look how much better looking she is. And it's like, is that really all place a value on, Mandy? Are you that, what's the word?
Shallow.
Yes. Here it is. Hold on. Oh God.
superficial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
superficial.
shallow, superficial. Yeah, hold on. What the hell? All photos, goddamn it. I just found it and I went off of it. Hold on. Because I really want to share this picture with you because it's even better than the mugshot, dude. And I took this picture myself.
Didn't she get arrested for like something with checks, or what was that?
No, this was auto theft.
Oh, okay. I knew it was stealing something. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah,
I love the fact that this auto theft happened in her, like, what was it, 30s or something, or
40s. This
40s,
was
yeah.
2020.
Damn.
She stole her friend's car, and her daughter told me the whole story. In fact, I have the screenshots of her daughter telling me the whole story. Yep. And
Wow.
it was a friend of hers who she had just like she always did to me, she would show up out of the blue with all her kids homeless, needing somewhere to stay, needing to can I drive your car so I can do my door dashing and shit like that. Like it's always the same shit with her. And she was staying with this friend of hers. Her kids were there too, not all 7 of them, because some of them had, aged out by then, I guess, or whatever. And she was using the friend's car to DoorDash. And there we go. The situation was not working out because this bitch, this bitch is a
Holy
fucking
shit.
fat, lazy slob. She likes to stay up all night arguing on Facebook. She likes to sleep all day.
Oh my
She
God.
will do bare fucking minimum of like door dashing and grub hubbing to get money for a fucking Polar Pop and some cigarettes. I told you she done
Oh,
pawned her
wow.
last kid off on her daughter, the one who lives in that shack on Section 8. And
Damn.
so that's Billy. That's your friend Billy. Look, there she is.
Oh man.
Wait, no. Now this is who Mandy wants y'all. Now do you see that? I'm sure this was a selfie that she took, but she absolutely ran that shit through some AI generator that cleaned it up and made her look like that. Like you're not by any stretch of the fucking imagination jumping from that to that. You're just
Wait.
like that's not it.
What was
That's night and day. God damn.
I can't even see the chat, but yeah. Hold on, let me look on my downloads because this is this fat funky bitch in her natural habitat. Look at that. This is fucking Arabia. This is Billy fucking Joe. Look at the ashtray overflowing.
Oh
What
wow.
did I just tell you? She will bare minimum work enough door dashing, having to drive somebody else's fucking car because she's that big of a fucking loser. Enough to where she can get her cigarettes and her Polar Pop, and then she parks her ass on the couch. Look, she's on her phone arguing on fucking Facebook all night.
You were not lying about
Yeah,
that.
she could use her stomach as a drink holder.
No, she does. You have no idea. You want to talk about an ill-built ass bitch? Look.
Oh,
I'm telling you. You see it? Do you see what I see? Are you seeing it? Are you seeing
It's
it?
a moose.
Yeah, when that she told people that I was fucking fat and my shit hung down to my knees. No, the fuck it don't, bitch.
Wow.
That
What
was
a
more
moose.
projection. I'm telling you, she had 7 kids. She's like 5. This one too is 5'2".
What
She
zoo
weighs
did she
no
break
less
out of?
than 325 pounds.
Spoken. It's a Nietzsche
Don't fucking
moose.
start with me.
Moose.
Gunther 2.0. Yeah.
I'm for real. Who the
Holy
fuck you think you're
shit.
talking to or about? No, bitch. Yeah, I've known you since
Shit.
we were kids, haven't I? Yes, I have.
Damn.
This ugly bitch. And
See, okay,
Mandy
this is my
telling
thing.
people that I live in fucking filth and squalor. I'm sorry, but I have shown. I've been on camera in my home, in my vehicle. Where's the fucking clips? Where's the screenshot showing I live in fucking filth and squalor? Get out of my face.
This is what I mean. Like this photo right here, if you put this photo and presented the same stupid stories, how would they sound?
This right here, this
Yeah.
photo, this right here,
Exactly.
this was taken the summer of 2020. This was right before I moved out and got my own apartment in Scottsburg. And that's when this bitch turned on me because she thought I was going to live with her and Muldraw the whole summer, paying her fucking bills in this apartment. And when I noped the fuck, and that was never the plan. Like I had a house. I still had my fucking house in South Bend. I didn't have to live here. Yeah, so when me and Yaba started getting serious and I got an apartment in Scottsburg, that's when she came to me with some bullshit story about how the landlord wanted a pet deposit for my dog. And I was like, well, I'll just come get the dog because I'm not paying look at this is the dump. This is it right here. $675 pet deposit. She wanted me to believe that her landlord was charging her.
Yeah, right.
I was
Yeah,
like, no,
right.
I'll come get the dog and I'll take the dog home to my daughter. It's her dog any damn way. And that's what kicked that whole fucking thing off. And then she said she gave my dog to her friend in Tennessee. And then there was a whole thing. But no, all those live streams that are over there on Mrs. ATX channel, all the recorded phone calls Mandy has over there of this bitch running her cocksucker right here. This was the time frame. The exact time frame she started doing that shit. This is where she lived. That's the fucking dirty ass, nasty ass, stinking ass furniture that she has to put in and out of storage that she got from the fucking Goodwill to begin with. It fucking stinks. Look at the cigarettes. Look at the top. I told you.
Wait a minute. Who took this
Nasty.
photo? Who took the photo?
I did. You know why I took the photo? Because I was taking pictures of the Yaba of the apartment to show Yaba where I was staying down there in Muldraw and why it was so important for me to get my own place because I did not want to live here with
Oh, so you were
fucking
like,
wacko.
you were like, yeah, but look at this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
God.
because I mean, you have to understand, like back then, like things moved quickly between me and Yaba, but we also were like, we were trying to not move too quickly, and we were trying to just, make sure that we were, thinking everything through, because like everything going on that summer was life altering for both of us,
Yeah.
But again, like I did not have to move. That's another thing Mandy says. That I had nowhere to go, so I was living with Billy and Muldraw because I didn't
Yeah.
have anywhere to go.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I still had my house in South Bend. Like when I
Mandy's
went
such a
down
fucking
there,
bitch.
I still had that.
Bruh.
I still had control over it. I could have at any time packed my fucking car, went back to South Bend, and continued life as usual. Like, but that's not how it worked out. But yeah, this bitch thought I was going to stay down there in Muldraw with her the whole summer and pay all her bills so she could sit her fat ass on the couch. Literally, you can ask Yaba because I would be on the phone with Yaba. Billy stays up on, that's why you don't see her on Twitter or on YouTube or anywhere else. This bitch, she's a Facebook girl. She
Oh,
likes to
Yikes.
argue, and she especially likes to argue like world politics and shit
Oh,
like
God, no.
that.
No,
Yeah, that's where
Oh,
the fuck
God,
she
no.
is. If y'all want to score an exclusive interview with Billy Joe fucking Fulton,
no.
you need to find that bitch on Facebook in the middle of the night. That's where you're gonna find that damn bitch.
Fuck no.
She looks like Meatloaf in that character on Fight Club.
Yeah,
I will do anything for love.
that is a
But I won't
funky bitch
do
right
that.
there. And
No,
she is all of
no,
she is
won't do that.
5'2". She's 5'2". She looks like a fucking troll.
Yeah.
She's built weird. I'm not saying I'm not a fat, ill-built bitch, but I am not. I don't look like that shit right there. That's for sure. Homely.
Jesus.
Just ugly. Just fucking ugly. And I'm telling you, like, she chain smokes. You saw him, Newport 100s, chain smokes that shit. All she ever drinks is pop. All
Ugh.
she ever eats is fast food. Like that. I'm surprised that bitch ain't PA'd
Sky.
yet.
And
I'll
she should put an
share.
ad out for her jaw that say they got a missing jaw. Fuck did it go?
Sky.
Something ugly bitch. Keep running your mouth. Look, keep running your mouth about me, you fugly bitch.
I think that
You're
she's
such a
jealous of
fucking Billy
you.
badass. Look, and how many times do you think she's driven past our house in the past
don't
two
know, but-
something fucking years? Ever since Mandy and Sean doxed where we live, I ain't never gonna forget that, Mandy.
Something tells me she knows nothing about world politics. Yeah, me too. I can't believe
No.
she. God, it must be fucking unbelievably stupid.
Yeah, stop in and say hi, Billy. Anytime, bitch. Knock on the fucking door. You're such a fucking badass. You got so much to say.
She's not even
You
gonna
got
do
all,
that.
you got all the receipts on me that literally it's 4 years this month. It's been
I've been
4 fucking
asking.
years.
I asked DC for the receipts. Oh, Belinda's sniping.
Oh,
She's
really? Oh, that's crazy. Hang on. We'll be right back. You fucking freak.
Look at that 1.5-inch boner. It's
That was
disgusting.
hilarious.
Little tiny
Gyrating his hips, but there's 1.5-inch boner. Yeah,
poking
you
the
play
table.
that shit every time she tries to snipe, and she'll take that shit down. It is fucking disgusting.
Here, you
Cursed
fucking-
Chuck E. Cheese video.
Belinda, you freak. Go ahead and hit the old Billy Joe up, have her cam up, make sure it's her, and then go crazy, bitch. Score that interview.
Wait, didn't she? She tried to have an interview with her, right? Or she did she? I don't remember.
Okay, according to her, ATX, of course, claimed that she could get her in touch with Arabia to interview her. I'm sorry, Billy Joe to interview her. And according to Belinda, she was leery, as she should be. And when she asked Billy Joe to cam up to show, to prove that's her or whatever, she wouldn't do it. And so she was suspect and did not believe that that was really Billy fucking Joe.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's Mandy's favorite thing is to shop around Arabia. Hey, you want to talk to Arabia? I'll get you in touch with her. I never asked to be in touch
ET
with
kept
her.
saying she was gonna be, and then she abruptly just stopped mentioning it. And then I brought it up again.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just want to know what the fuck these people think of fucking Billy Joe is going to tell them about my life other than what? Tell them you drive past our house on a regular basis.
Yeah, she said
That's
she was going to get
fucking
some
weird.
pictures of you guys. That's what Mandy said. Oh yeah, wait till Arabia goes and gets the pictures of Yaba and Sam. I'll send them to you.
Like
Oh,
nobody
really,
asked.
Mandy,
Nobody wanted
ATX?
part of that shit.
Did
Nobody asked.
Oh, well, I'm going to ask Mandy. Mandy, did Billy Joe Fulton provide you with pictures of me and my wife? Did you ever get those? When are you going to drop those receipts, Mandy? Or are you full of absolute fucking horse shit, you and your friend Billy Joe?
I think
Which
it's the
one is
latter.
it?
I never got any pictures or anything from her, but she would say that. She said that a few different times, and
Yeah, but
Yeah.
says Billy, you stink, and I would never be friends with you.
Ugh.
Listen, I took pity on the girl because I knew her since we were teenagers. She never could get her fucking life together. She was strapped with a bunch of kids. They were all badass kids. she was always getting, in trouble with CPS and shit. And I don't know. I shouldn't have associated with her, but I felt bad for her. Plus, I didn't know just how bad she was. She does. Abba just said in the chat, listen, I give Sam shit for ever being friends with some of those people. She does, and she should, because I should have fucking known better, but whatever.
She looks like Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy's just full of shit in this Arabia character, full of shit also.
They're all full of shit. Well, listen, girl, we're going on 2.5 hours. I gotta get off of here, and I guess Belinda can hit the playback. Oh, B-roll bag Linda as per usual.
Yeah,
I wonder what she's grifting for today.
I don't know. Could it be, I don't know, glasses that she already has access to the full funds for in her 401k? I don't know. We'll never know, I guess.
Yeah,
We're never gonna know.
maybe a private investigator to find Junior, since he hasn't been around for a long time.
Oh, she wants to get the same strap on the BBC that DC uses on Neg. She wants to use it on Junior.
Yeah, show us proof of life of the mower, beg Linda.
Yeah.
Here's some meds.
Tell us how racist you are, Belinda. ... Okay, yeah. Outspoken is requesting one more Cliff clip.
One more clip. Absolutely. Fuck you, Belinda. Fuck you too, Cliffy.
Look how disgusted that woman is. Like, what are you doing? He's gyrating with his 1.5-inch boner. It's fucking disgusting, boner. Sniffy Cliffy the boner.
Yeah, I was said, can we get a Keisha? Absolutely.
Oh. Okay. Hey, Keisha, how you doing, darling? Belinda, if he told her to leave, got it.
Keisha. I'm just from the Appalachian Mountains. I really don't know what's going on half the time. I just come on here and just say stuff that people tell me to say in the chat. I really don't know what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. They seem to give me money, and I think I'm just going to keep on doing that because up here in the Appalachian Mountain, we don't got a lot to do up in here. My Junior ran off. He ran off in one of the hills up there. I haven't seen him in years.
You can go on forever just ripping off fucking Big Linda.
Yeah, he was smoking that meth. We made meth, and he smoked some. He ran off in those mountains. I haven't seen him, but we did get married. He wasn't there, and my daddy, he wasn't there either. But yeah, we got married. I just made a fake document. People just bought that shit and bought me a lot of stuff, and I just keep doing this. I don't know why, but I get money. I'm just a Appalachian weirdo, and I don't got no friends. I just sit here with my dog, and I dress them up in the KKK uniforms, and I parade them around all of Appalachia, and they seem to like that. It's just that's what we do out here. We just do this.
I'm sure they love it.
Yamato Zami, thank you for gifting 5 Samantha Jean memberships. Baba Booey, DG, Flushumu, Amy May, and Salva. Welcome. Thank you so much. Tragic, that was spot the fuck on, dude. Like, that's impressive. When you said shit, I don't know why I do it, but they give me money.
Yeah, might as well keep letting it roll. See what I get. I got a lawnmower. I got some new dentures. I got glasses. I got a new coffee maker. I thought I was dumb as hell, but these people give me the money. They are so goddamn stupid. And
your accent is more on point than Belinda's, because Belinda's is faker than yours.
Oh my god.
Sure.
Thank you, Sam, for
you
hosting
guys.
the stream and
Watch it.
everything.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
are you guys gonna review the full DC ATX stream? I think I will tomorrow as well.
No, you can. I mean, I
Yeah.
No, I
I
want to
wanna
hear
watch
you
you
guys
do
do
it.
it too.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
okay, fine.
all right.
All right,
Well,
we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We do. We can recap it. Yeah, don't forget I got a microphone too all the way out in Appalachia. I didn't think they sent that shit out here, but they did. Bye, everybody. It's me, Belinda. I'm inbred, and I'm proud.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.